why people went to piracy in the first place is because of accessibility.
It's very simple.
Now, this is a long-standing take that I've had. People disagree with me on this one. For some reason, I think that everything wrong with Western civilization could be stemmed back to feminism. Really, literally all of it. I think it's people that have played on the heartstrings of forgiving and kind Christian civilization in order to basically manipulate people into discarding the word of God for some sort of more enlightened, empathetic belief system. And that is the root of all of the things, all of them. The degeneracy, the scams, the immigration, all of the issues I think could be triggered. And unfortunately for me and society, I keep getting proven correct.
So basically, Meta is laying off more people. Today, we reduced headcount by 22%. The Meta
Wow, I can't believe that.
layoffs are some of the most dystopian things I've ever seen. Unpopular opinion.
All these ridiculously B words that are unfortunately everywhere now, and for some reason we just have to tolerate them in the hoification of society.
You don't have to dress corporate to be professional. So this is her. I guess she got.
This is the downward spiral of civilization. Yeah, that's right. I could be a tech worker and dress like a hoe.
Hired at Meta, and so she showed up to work looking like this. Anyway, so this is what happened. Asha, as previously shared, we've decided to reduce headcount as part of our continued effort to run the company more efficiently and allow us to offset other investments we're making. Unfortunately, your
Could that be because
as a part of today's
all the TikTok videos showing up for work, getting a latte, getting a massage, playing ping pong.
Funny part is, I exceeded expectations.
What can their Meta cut them people because they don't fucking do anything?
Wow.
They're dead weight.
To build someone else's dream while ignoring mine. I'll be a founding creator at one of the coolest fashion startups in Silicon Valley. I got laid off.
Wow, you got laid off from Meta. Now you're doing a fashion brand. I'm sure that's going to go really well for you. This is the CEO.
Bro, these people are literally gaslit by the system to think that they're all Captain Marvel. Right, I'm not even kidding. Every single one of these people, they're completely and utterly gaslit into thinking that they will truly find themselves fulfilled as some sort of fashion icon / ho-fluencer. All right, and people are falling for this. It's crazy.
Oh, that fired the HR team a couple days ago?
Ah, God damn it.
Shit, he's explaining it.
We got rid of our HR team.
Why?
We had an HR team. That HR team was creating problems.
That's right. Man, I'm so glad we've incorporated women into the workforce on such a massive scale that they are literally, like, we need an entire woman workforce to enforce the woman workforce and basically shut down all actual progress to be made. We're busy having meetings to decide on when they will have more meetings. Essentially, the nagging has gotten to such an insane degree.
That didn't exist. And those
They have to invent problems. They invent problems, and then they have to invent teams and policies to stop the problems that don't exist.
problems disappeared when I left.
Every single company.
It's perfect. It's everything that I've ever wanted.
In Silicon Valley is full of worthless This guy, believe it or not, follows me.
My coworkers keep saying I need to make like a tech TikTok, because if you look at my TikTok, you'd never guess I have a job. Anyways, this is our current workstation.
Not a good sign.
Callie and I are what you call product managers.
In other words, useless.
Callie, what is your
Or
team?
they are literally inventing useless jobs to make sure that women can't actually get married and be home and take care of their children. It's so fucking sad.
Over.
My team is over reporting and internal tools.
And I am over
Useless, nothing burger job.
what we call card experience.
We help prioritize and help engineers stay on track and help them.
Oh,
They do fucking nothing.
we help the engineers stay on track.
They're just nagging. They're
They
like,
nag.
I have a job for you. You're going to be nagging men all day. And they were like, oh boy, my calling.
Oh boy. Oh no. Whenever you're helping them stay on track, they're thinking, thank you.
We need
so
you to
much, Samantha."
nag men all day.
Exactly. So you might have
This
team
is
of
the
engineers
moment
actually
I've
good at
been
developing
training
with
for.
coding. Product managers,
So this is literally libtard dystopia. You import infinite Indians to be the tech managers. You hire two completely useless college libtard graduates to be in charge of this.
Good morning.
Just fuck all of
Congratulations.
society.
I can make my payment to the Duke now. The team's gonna work on, do competitive research, keep everyone focused, motivated, and
Basically, just have endless meetings.
and driving towards business outcomes.
Driving towards business outcomes.
That's what we do. We work from home,
We work from home.
which means you work from the internet.
So this is our office today.
I hope all you coworkers are happy.
And
Are you happy that these people now exist?
those problems disappeared when
Fuck.
I let
That's right. And
Yeah.
so basically, the surprise of literally no one. So this is a video that I think has probably the greatest title and thumbnail on all of YouTube. It's made by a friend of mine. Think before you sleep. This guy is an absolute goat. All right, so I already opened this video, so you'll see the red bar. I didn't watch it yet. Florida woman goes to the dentist, and the thumbnail is just a screenshot of a Florida woman in a dentist office with a police officer. And literally the entire story is already told. You know exactly where this is going. It's insane! Which I didn't see this yet, but I was told in cinema. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games with the time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games, complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call of Dragons on free cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Now, back to the chaos. Every individual sign-up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated.
So what's going on? So they called the cops. They have the cops here now.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
Thank you.
What the fuck just happened? Push the button on my keyboard and skip the middle of the audio.
So what's going on? So they called the cops. They have the cops here now. So what's the issue? The issue is all I want is documents that happened today so now I can take it and I can get the work done that I need it done. And you heard what she said, right? You can get it later. I told her to mail them to her address because I don't have an address. And I asked her to write it down.
He doesn't have an address.
Pick up the phone. This person's not a part of it. Okay. All right. So you're gonna have to leave the property now. I do come back here and cause more issues. We're gonna have a bigger issue. Okay. They do not have the documents for anything right now, and that's the end of it.
Okay, so we have a routine visit to the dentist office where the police had to be called because the suspect, suspect is probably the correct word. So the police were called because the suspect is mad that they wanted to mail her paperwork to her.
Because they don't have an address or a place to send it to. That's
So can you give her one?
Why? They already told me. I have to leave. I have to leave the premises right now.
If you want them sent to you, then give them the address. It's very simple.
Yeah, this seems so easy. If you pay close attention, you can even hear that whoever's talking to her on the phone agrees with the police. Now, to clarify, I think initially the dentist...
Whoa, it's so bad! So bad, dude. All of society is crumbling because of the Karens are destroying society. Alright, let's take a look at what our leaders have to say about this. Alright, so we have Zora Mamdani praying. Cool. We have AOC and a hijab. Alright. AOC and Zora Mamdani fighting patriarchy. I'm really glad that the people in charge are really worried about the actual issues.
just wanted to mail the paperwork to her instead of giving it to her in person that day because she was being a pain in the ass and they didn't want her on the property longer than necessary, and they also didn't want her coming back to pick it up when they finished it.
Well, it's going to take me a minute to do it, and the way she was acting, I couldn't have her. If you guys are sitting here with her, I'll do it.
Look, I don't care.
She's gonna push that ring on.
Okay, alright, just come outside.
A Florida woman goes to a dentist office. This is the greatest description I've ever heard.
No, I
We're
would.
gonna wait outside and she's gonna print it up while we're here.
I thought she just said that they could.
Wait outside, wait outside.
Yes, Daddy.
Okay, now I'm engaged. So this is like a prostitute. Thanks, Boondocks. Many life lessons learned from that show.
You better make that D4 work, bitch, and stop playing with me.
Yes, Daddy.
And now we know why the police had to get caught up with the medical documents at the dentist. But the reason I wanted to focus on this police encounter is because recently the topic of culture has come up a lot in social media discussions.
Yeah.
Many people have realized that the reason that
I don't think people understand the fact that we're winning so much. People are so fucking blind to the amount of winning that's happening. Cultural victory after cultural victory. The fact that these discussions are being had is such an unbelievable win. People don't remember what 2020 was like. Every mayor in every city kneeling and praying to St. George Fentanyl Floyd. You know, blessed be his fent. All right, you do not remember the level of retards that we had to deal with. All right, like, dude, we are winning on an unfathomable level, and you have to stop blackpilling.
Regular people have to live with all these restrictions and limitations is because of an actually quite small group of people who are screwing it up for everyone else.
Yeah.
For example, this story has been going around on Twitter. Some doctors and engineers decided to go to the Ichikawa Zoo in Japan where that famous monkey punches. When they got there, they jumped into an enclosure to promote some stupid crypto coin. Because of
Wait, it was an African again?
those two guys, the zoo had to install a net to prevent that from happening again, and now we can't see monkeys at the zoo. Wait, nah, I'm gonna leave that in, it's fine. So when it comes to a person like this who can't handle a simple activity like waiting for some documents without causing a scene, know that these are the people that we have to focus on to fix a vast majority of society's problems.
Are you gonna wait for the documents or not? Hello?
Oh my god. You alright? No, I'm trying to
Listen. Can you listen for 1 second? She said it was gonna take a few minutes. The way you were acting, they didn't want to do it while you were here. So now that we're here, they'll do it while we wait outside with you. Okay? They don't. You know what? If you have a job.
We can back. Okay, papers that they said that they were just about to bring out. Yeah, I mean,
The 5 words that can destroy every libtard. Do you have a job?
left, so we thought you left. No, I left to go for a walk so I can calm down. I didn't leave you, but you told me to come back in here when everything was done. So that's what I was doing. I just told you to wait outside. That's what I was doing outside. All right, can you let's sit down and we'll get you your documents here. I'll go for another walk. Okay, no, don't go for a walk. Just stay here. I don't need you walking around everywhere. I need to find where you're at so we can just give you the documents. I'm sure it'll be just another minute. Documents are done, and I can go for a walk with children. I don't understand why it's a problem for me to just step outside and go for a walk.
I already have a headache. They asked her to leave and she wants to stay. Now they're asking her to stay and she wants to leave. Literally.
Lord, give my pimp hand the strength required to fucking teach this bitch a lesson. I'm kidding. I would never call for violence or anything.
Being a pain in the ass.
She needs a dad. Like, so obviously, right? She's got a dad-shaped hole in her heart, and she is trying to fill it with being a Karen and ruining everyone else's life. Like, bro, society without dads.
It's just because. Normally, I would use this term for marketing, but my friends and I like to call these kinds of people high-friction individuals. The reason being that ideally, when you try to sell something in a business, you try to reduce the number of actions that a person has to take to buy your product. Doing that increases the likelihood that customers will make a purchase, like Amazon's one-click buys. It's easy for a reason. To put it simply, the number of actions that you have to take to do something is called friction. And usually, when you're trying to improve your life, one of the most effective ways of doing that is to reduce friction or reduce the number of actions that it takes to accomplish things that are good for you. However, the mentally ill love increasing friction and adding roadblocks to everyday activities. Think of a show like Hoarders, where walking to the front door is almost an impossible task. I swear I watched an episode where a woman had to use her neighbor's toilet because her house was so full of junk that she couldn't use her own bathroom. That's high friction. So understand the amount of roadblocks that this streetwalker is putting everyone through just to get some pieces of paper from the dentist.
You're making a bigger issue. I'm not trying to make an issue. I'm not trying to make a problem. I'm just, why can't I go for a walk until this is done?
Bro, she needed a dad.
How much longer till the documents?
Like, we are literally stunting a generation, turning a generation of people into completely, socially unacceptable whores and retards just because of the dad crisis. All right, because for some reason everyone needs to get divorced now. For some reason.
Okay. So can I go for a walk until it's done? No, stay here, or we're gonna be trespassing you from here, okay? Why? Just stay here. Just stay here. They're getting the papers. I'm not gonna babysit. You don't have to babysit. I said I would come back in a little bit when it's done.
Oh my God!
And then when they're done, I can call you. You can come
Oh my God!
Just stay here. I don't want to do that.
This girl is the queen of unnecessary roadblocks. To clarify and reiterate, in case you forgot context, the original plan was to mail the documents to her. However, because the police are there and in order to reduce friction so they don't have to deal with her anymore, the dentist office has decided to ready the paperwork for her immediately. But instead of the suspect saying, okay, well, I'll just wait 5 minutes, she decides to overcomplicate everything by saying that she wants to go for a walk until the documents are ready, which is, of course...
I'm just saying, marrying a man and then being married and having children with the woman and the man working and the woman raising the children to be good people, and then the woman growing up and, becoming 20 and getting married to a man, and then they raise their children, is actually just a cure to like 99% of problems in civilization. I'm not even exaggerating. The most basic bitch aspects of life are just actually fucking awesome and biblical. And society, for some reason, decided, no, we need to ruin that because we hate God.
Pissing off the officer because she doesn't want to waste police resources by waiting for some undetermined amount of time for the suspect to come back. Like, God, this chick's behavior is annoying. It's like having to type in my credit card number every time I want to make a purchase. Just arrest her and give her a huge fine. Stop trying to accommodate her. You need to inconvenience this chick back instead of letting her control the situation.
I just want to leave so that way I can go and finish what I had to do today. They're working on it. And they're taking a long time, so I can't go for a walk because I have to go for an application and an interview right now.
Okay. You left. Okay, we saw you leave. I hung out here for another 5 minutes. You clearly were coming back. I told them you left.
I never said I wasn't coming back. I never said
Oh my
I
God!
was supposed to know.
Why should everyone in society be jumping hoops to accommodate you? Like, it's crazy. Actual Marvel movie syndrome. Every single like 20-year-old woman without a dad thinks they're Captain Marvel, and you can't live in and you can't live in a society like that.
Oh, I can't read your mind.
You can't read my mind. Okay, you don't know what I'm going to do or what I have to do. I had an appointment to go to another place that's near here that I missed an appointment.
Right, now it's the officer's fault that you missed your interview because you couldn't wait for some paperwork. I mean, your pimp said it was okay to wait. Also, she's not dressed for an interview. She started this video out in a sweatshirt and yoga pants. I doubt she's about to be interviewed or going to an appointment or whatever she changed it to. Maybe the actual story is that she was supposed to go meet a client, if you know what I mean.
I'm not trying to play games. I have an appointment somewhere else that I have to be.
Okay, then you want to come back later today for the documents?
I can come back whenever I need to come back to the paperwork and whenever the paperwork is done. That's not a problem. I don't mind coming back to the paperwork.
You had an issue.
Why?
No, that's why I was called here, because you had an issue with it. I'm not playing games with you.
I never had an issue coming back to pick up my paperwork, but they told me that I wasn't going to be able to get it for a while.
Now you have the customer thinking, what the hell, why is there a cop here? Let me just say that if I'm a new customer and I saw this shit going down, I would probably never come to this business again, and I would tell all my friends to not go there because I would think it's ratty. For longtime customers, it might be different, but it is very likely that she's costing this dentist office business by causing a scene. They should just arrest her at this point.
Why can't I just come back after I finish what I had to finish there, and then I can finish my and then I can come and pick up the documentation? And I can call you for
Is it ready?
2 more minutes, he's finishing his note real quick. That's how he said it would be better if she came back.
Right, well, now? Okay, so she's gonna be trespassed?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear this, okay? If you leave the property and come back, you'll be arrested. If you leave right now, you cannot come back, okay?
I want my paperwork.
Okay, wait 2 minutes, and you'll have your paperwork, okay? Do you understand? If you return this property, you will be arrested.
I don't mind that. I don't care about
Okay,
that.
so
That's fine. I just want my documentation so I can take it to my new doctor. So they can do what they need to do.
Oh
Since
my
they
God!
don't-
Just wait for 2 minutes and shut up.
Meeting. Okay,
I have to.
you have to be here and
Let me write down my information.
Well, neither one of them are shutting up.
sit down.
I'm not a dog. I'm not sitting down like I'm a dog. I'm not a dog.
Stay right there. You're not moving anywhere. You're waiting for your documents. Unless you want to leave, you're going to be trespassed and you'll be arrested. Your return.
I want my citizenship.
Come sit down. You're not blocking the doorway.
Why doesn't the secretary shut up and get the paperwork?
We can back up here in case you have to go in here.
Obviously, the woman's not going to shut up. Why are you still engaging her?
Get out of the way. You don't have to be blocking the doorway for all these other customers.
God, I hate people.
The door's open. Anyone can come in here. I'm not blocking anyone.
Come on, she's begging to be arrested. I understand trying to de-escalate when possible, but she's crossed the line like 10 different times, so now it's time to make her life hell so she doesn't think she can get away with this elsewhere.
You absolutely have to just do things. You know, we could do things. We have like a button, all right, and it's the fix everything easily button, and you can just push the button. And no one wants to push the fucking button. No one wants to push that goddamn button. It's right there. It's right there in front of you. The fix everything easily button. The everything becomes better button could just be pushed, and everything will get better. And no one wants to push the button.
Where the reason she's so confident in being a pain in the ass to police
It's because no one has ever done anything. It's because her victim bullshit has just won every single altercation in her life every single time.
is because she does this to other people and they put up with it. Now, if you're afraid of standing up to this kind of person, let me just say that most of them are really weak and they cave instantly the minute someone tells them to shut up.
All right, do you have your ID on you?
No, I do not.
All right, get off the phone.
No, I'm calling my mom.
Get off the phone.
You can't tell me I can't call my mom.
Come sit over here. All right, she's trespassed. They're getting her documents right now. Waiting. She wants to be arguing over with me. I told her to sit down. She wants to call her mom and stand in the doorway.
There's going to be a point where she's going to be bitching about this story to somebody else, and they're going to be like, why did you go through all that? And they're going to ask her if she's fucking nuts, man.
Okay, if you do not get up right now, you're going to jail.
Oh my God, the screechiness.
See what I mean? Instantly cave. She's used to
Screech and scream.
She's not used to them.
Expected her bitchy nagginess to survive her entire life. She just expected everything to work out if she just bitches and nags because she's the main character in a Marvel movie. And unfortunately, every time reality wakes up, nothing radicalizes you like a little dose of reality. You know, when the woman that's pro-transgender shit and then goes into the bathroom and sees the toilet seat up, and all of a sudden they're radicalized. You know, nothing radicalizes a retard like reality.
Standing up for themselves, so she doesn't know how to deal with it. That's how most of these annoying people are. This
is what we call George Floyd, ladies and gentlemen.
Body cam footage has been great for exposing how these police
I
encounters
love body cam footage. Shout out to black people.
actually go. Really eye-opening. You can see she is clearly resisting arrest. She is very clearly resisting being grabbed.
I got one, Pep. Oh! Hey, stop!
Turn around.
You're gonna get hurt if you don't comply. And that's by your own accord.
Resisting
Hey,
arrest.
raise your hands!
It'll be a good morning when you buy something. Get the fuck out of here.
Then you should have listened.
Stop resisting! You are not listening.
I can't breathe. We got another one, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe either. W, let's go.
Stop.
I got just a job. Don't just stand there with a thumb up.
I don't understand.
I mean, she's
why I'm not allowed to see what time it is when I.
You can scream, you can breathe.
You know what? While I got the chance,
Now,
I'm
in the
gonna
past, I
move
might
you
have spoken
guys.
differently, but in the modern day, I'm so sick of people who pull this shit that the more they cry and struggle while they're in the process of finding out, the more I enjoy the video.
That's right.
Knock it off. We're gonna bring all
The more she is publicly humiliated and suffers because of the consequences of her own actions, the less likely she's gonna do it again. I'm just saying, and hopefully everyone can see this video. Share with your friends. Let everyone see exactly what the consequences. Shouldn't have done it. To quote Asmongold, shouldn't have done it.
Good stuff. Now knock it off.
Wait, I thought you didn't have your ID.
Alright, do you have your ID on you?
No, I do not.
Alright.
I guess she did have it.
Yep.
No, I need my ID. I need my wallet.
You're gonna get everything. Calm down. You'll get everything. Calm down. This is ridiculous. Then you would have got it if you listened. Let's go.
I did let you.
Stand up and get in
That's
the car.
right.
I'm not getting arrested for this.
Get in the car.
No, I'm not getting arrested for this.
And it's tell them to
It's gonna get worse.
I beg to differ.
You're gonna get pulled in if you don't get in the car.
I'm not gonna lie, but it seems that you are getting arrested for this.
Get in the car.
Oh. Just gonna get worse for you. The more you're
God,
retarded.
what a day, what a nuisance. It's very shocking that no one got hurt. The suspect starts kicking the
You know,
door.
it's honestly insane that like we need to live in a society where this is considered acceptable by like half the population, and then they say defund the police.
In the glass window, though for the most part, the police have her under control. And now that the witch is contained, let's see how the dentist is doing.
I think she probably has something in her bag she doesn't want you guys to know. Is she like around the corner somewhere?
A little snitch. I think there's something in her backpack that she hid from you. Good move. Get her in as much trouble as possible. Because I think what this lady is suggesting is that the real reason that the suspect actually wanted to take a walk is so that she could ditch some drugs or do them. Honestly, it's hard not to think that this girl is a regular user of hard drugs based on her completely unhinged behavior over some paperwork.
I told you.
Covered in piercings, covered in tattoos, talking to her daddy on the phone, walking around, completely angsty, doesn't want to give her address to the dentist.
That's strange.
I not two men.
I told you we were gonna be back.
2 men on a young lady? It's just crazy to me.
She's an M.
Alright, so this is her stuff.
Hang on, I go.
Yeah, bitch deserved it, shouldn't have done it.
Oh yeah, this is her paperwork. I never want to keep the lady again. I don't know what I need to do for that trespassing or whatever, but
She already knows you trespass. She called the so.
okay. Well, thank you. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
I've never in my life seen something that crazy. Well, I guess that's normal for you guys.
Yeah, you should start voting for people that actually want to put these people in little camps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, you want to just round people up and put them in a box? Yeah. Notice how society will get better really quickly.
Yeah, I only saw something as crazy one other time, and it was me fighting another girl with that.
It's always the girls.
That's an interesting perception.
Wow.
But now we finally have the paperwork. Mission accomplished. Though this all could have maybe just been an email, keep it simple. Next, the police have to look through her bag, and it looks like she has some makeup brushes that she's now going to have to throw away because they put them on the floor. Great move, cops. I approve. We have some 5 gum and something that looks like a burner phone, so she's not beating the drug addict prostitute allegations.
No, can I please go my job? Please, this is perfect today. I can't finish this.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah,
I
all right.
just want to get away. I didn't do anything to deserve it, please. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to jail. Please don't make me arrested. I don't want to go.
It's like she knew that this was a very high likelihood. She was arrested before. She still acted like this. Like, bro, some people just need to be put in the box.
Going back to jail? Now, again, you might think it's heartless for me to make fun of her frantically crying or possibly having a panic attack.
Publicly humiliating these people is the solution.
Mom, my mom's right there. My mom's right there. Mom, my mom's right there. She's in that pink chair. My mom's in that chair. Please. Mom, please. Please, Mom.
Holy shit, literally as mature as a toddler. So you may think it's like heartless for me to make fun of this person because it looks like she's crying and having a panic attack or whatever. But remember, she caused all of this. She could have just been polite to the dentist, but
Dude, you should be making fun of these people. What are you talking about? Like, this ideology is tainted, and it needs to be expunged from society.
instead she had to disrupt their business and possibly scare their customers away. Not to mention they gave her like 20 different warnings to try and prevent her from being arrested.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it should have been like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We need to be less tolerant of these people.
Yeah.
My empathy goes out the window.
Dude, I'm so tired of this garbage. Bro, tolerance is not a virtue. You have been mind raped by society to think tolerance is a virtue. Literally. Tolerance is not a virtue. Intolerance is a virtue. Being intolerant to evil is being virtuous. Being tolerant to the infinite hoes and rapists, that's not virtuous. But I don't even understand where this ideology came from that it's virtuous to be tolerant. Like, they pick words that they just completely utilize to their advantage. And honestly, I don't even think these words mean what they say they mean. You know, they call it Pride Month. Dog, Pride's a sin. Hello? Like, they'll take these words. It's actually satanic. They'll take a word and they will mutilate it. They will take a word that's evil and then they will try their absolute best to contort it into something good. It's honestly insane.
For those who cause their own problems like this. Like I said, I actually enjoy watching people like this suffer. You have to be in that mindset or you'll get manipulated by their crying and fake sob stories. Now, if this was someone who was innocent, watching
I don't like watching them suffer. I just like consequences. That's what I have to say. I like the finding out stage of the fuck around, find out ideology.
video like this would genuinely be traumatizing.
It's not for suffering that I enjoy in a vacuum. Absolutely not. Seeing a woman suffer. Unless it's due to the consequences of her actions, and all of a sudden I fucking love it.
For example, watching Arena Zaruska get stabbed, it caused me mental health issues for weeks. But when it's someone finding out after someone gets stabbed, I don't lose sleep at all. Weird how that works.
Bro, you cannot change.
Jeez, I gotta show the free ring clip again.
Demons use words.
This is my favorite clip in all of anime.
Trick humans. You can't trust a thing they say. They're monsters who learn to speak. Monsters who found they could lure in humans by crying, "Help me."
I'm tired of these people playing victim to make us feel sorry for them as a way of getting out of drama that they cause. I have seen so many bad people play this game that the minute I see it, I instantly start hating the person.
It's just me. I was opening up soon. Have fun. And goodbye. I wish you all the best.
She's literally a demon. Or she's one of those women who thinks she's like a witch or something who can cast spells. A lot of prostitutes are into that
Do
witch.
you know that the #1 growing religion in the United States of America among young women is women converting to witchcraft? That's a real thing, by the way.
Crap shit. You know, they say the devil makes work for idle hands, and basically what's going on here is that this is like a directionless person who just kind of exists and has no life purpose. So her purpose becomes annoying as many people as possible. Social media is full of these types.
Prove to me you guys are not racist and let us two sit down. Yeah. Prove that you guys are not racist and let us two sit down. All right, come on. Prove it. Prove you're not racist. That's one. One more. One more. Oh my God, you guys are going viral. They're going to say you're so good. Look at, what are your names? Say your names. Say it, it's a good.
They're like, yeah, we're not giving you our names, go away. For context, this took place in New York. I love the lack of social awareness here, where the guy doesn't get that
New York! New York is so cool.
the only reason that they move is because they don't want to get assaulted. Now, you might think that these surrounding people would help them if they were to get attacked, but not in New York. If they try to help, they'll get arrested, while the criminal will just walk free. Why would anyone want to live in NYC? Speaking of the miscreants of society, let's check back in with our little spellcaster. She's really been creating a ruckus in that cop car by kicking the door a bunch of times, so reminding everyone that she said she didn't want to be treated like a dog. The police have decided to transfer her into the human equivalent of a kennel van.
Listen, no more fighting, all right? Or you're going to have more charges and you're going to stay in jail longer.
Because we don't like
no more fighting.
Sorry, that's our...
You'll get out today if you don't fight.
You're gonna get more charges if you don't
The faster you get there, the faster you'll get out. As soon as you get up, we're going to put him in the front.
I love how 1 second ago, you will burn. You will rue the day. You will rue the day that you will put me in prison.
We're going to take those off and put them in the front.
Oh, they're putting her in the kettle van!
So it looks like she damaged that door. I hope they charge her for it instead of having my tax dollars go to replacing that panel.
Hang on. No, you gotta put it in the back. What do you want? Oh, stop. It's not tight. It's not. Right, hang on.
Fuck.
The way it sits from the river to the sea, Palestine will be. There's no way. There's no way that's your tattoo, right? Okay. Show me the sea. All right, never mind. I got your tattoo.
Oh, stop. It's not tight. No, it's not tight. All right, hang on. All right, hang on. Okay.
Yeah. The way it sits from the river to the sea, Palestine will be. There's no way. There's no way that's your tattoo, right? Okay. Show me the sea. All right, never mind. I got so scared for a second. Infinite retards out there.
If I can get my dirt from that book. Okay.
He was hiding behind that wall, wasn't he? Yeah. I don't like running into the cops in the tight confines of houses.
That's right.
You can see the cops were
Put her in a box.
laughing at her. Looks like I'm not the only one who enjoys the reactions that people have when they find out. So that's pretty much it. It says here that she spent 5 days in jail. Not long enough in my opinion. Give her like 2 weeks. She also got a nearly $500 fine. Make it more. Well, never mind. The jail time's enough. Her mom's just gonna pay that fine for her. I didn't think it turned out that way. But I cannot stress this enough. Our punishments are way too light in this country. We need to be tougher on criminals and tougher on people who create problems for either no reason or out of extreme selfishness. And also, we should be very outspoken against behavior like this.
Like, I don't understand, like, if you're struggling, why don't you go to, like, a cheap buffet? And you just go to the buffet and you have, like, all you can eat stuff, and then just, like, save the food when people aren't looking.
Steal the food, is what you're saying. She's saying, why don't you just go and steal shit?
Go to buffets and spend
Man, don't you love podcasters?
minimum amount and get all the food and just wait until no one's looking at you and, like, bring couple
Man, I'm so glad that we have people that don't believe in thou shalt not steal in our country. Aren't you? Aren't you happy that we've done this to ourselves?
and put it there, okay?
Hey, everybody.
I love how every single atheist is like, you need God to tell you things to be moral, and then they literally advocate for like sins, like the 10 Commandments. Break those.
Life hack, just steal. Gee, I don't think any poor person's ever thought of that one before. I guess buffets are gonna have to close now because of changes in consumer habits. But with all of this in mind, maybe some Stoic philosophy is relevant because people love to use their economic situation or social standing as an excuse for their shitty behavior. However, as far back as 2,000 years ago, some people realized that whether you're rich or poor, all people suffer, all people can have discipline or be degenerate, and all people are capable of good behavior or bad behavior. This assumption that being poor means you're moral and being rich means you're immoral is stupid. There are rich...
That's called neo-Marxism, and it is quite literally being drilled into the minds of people in every school system in America.
People who do good things and there are poor people who do bad things, and all of us can fall into the same vices no matter what our wealth or social standing is. So the measure of a person should not be how much money they have or how popular they are. The measure of a person should be their virtue, because everybody can practice good virtue, everybody can do the right thing. And the measure of a good society is about how many virtuous people are in it, which is why we need to keep all the wrongdoers in line or quarantine them to a mental hospital or an island. Outside of that, if you want to find yourself in a happy place with people who like you, there's nothing more valuable than a person who's honest, a person who doesn't have like 10 different vices, and a person who will do what they can to help others if they need it. And the way you achieve this, whether you are rich or poor, is to get your self-esteem from your good deeds and your discipline, instead of getting it from the things that you can buy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter.
That was a nice moral at the end there. You know, I find it really interesting, just like as a general rule of thumb, that people who have been inspired by biblical systems or biblical philosophy or part of a culture that's founded on biblical ethics just happen to be better people in general. The people that reject that just turn out complete immoral shitbags, just like almost all of the time. It's really funny when you start to notice these things. It's kind of wild that this book, written 3,000 years ago, kind of solves all of these issues. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's almost like it was divinely inspired or something. But as a rule of thumb, that's why I think most of these people are just degenerates in general. Like most of these people that go out there and preach all this whatever, and it comes from whatever the fuck you want. Oh, if you're poor, why don't you just steal? Life hack! Yeah, that's actually immoral because stealing is sin, inherently. It causes harm to other people, but it is inherently evil. And these people do not believe in inherent good and evil, and therefore I can never ever trust them to actually just not be evil. But hey, that's just my opinion. You're
There's another dude over here somewhere.
You just be wrong. That's okay. Lots of people over here. You do one person who disagree. That's fine. That's totally. I love living in a society where people can have opinions that are wrong. Thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe.
Watch out. It's a black girl thing? No, there's a bunch of other races. I've seen like Hispanic chicks do this, even white chicks do it too. It's not a race thing, but I've never seen somebody do it that wasn't nuts. I'll tell you that.
In great detail. If OpenAI decides to turn ads on in ChatGPT, it won't be like seeing random ads in Google. It'll be more like an AI companion gently suggesting to users exactly what they need in their most vulnerable moments. I understand.
What you need to do right now, where is your bleach? Do you have a toaster and do you have a bathtub?
You're going through a breakup. Have you considered Just Breathe meditation app? We've already seen people fall in love with ChatGPT to use it as a therapist and tell it things that they won't even tell their closest friends. Now imagine that trust being weaponized for retail sales. Of course. I just finished editing this video when OpenAI announced that you can now purchase products through ChatGPT, starting with Etsy. Remember when I was talking about monetizing those 700 million users? Well, now it's happening. But here's the thing, Etsy isn't even handmade goods anymore. The site is flooded with cheap, mass-produced products.
Do you remember whenever Etsy was like, you know, cute girls that are making plushies for them to sell that maybe companies don't make, like a cute little dinosaur plushie, and it's like, you know, $40 or something like that. You can buy one for, you know, like your mom or your girlfriend, and like now it's just a bunch of fucking Temu shit that's being resold on Etsy. Yeah, Etsy sucks now. Yeah, I've heard about it a lot. I bought a dice bag from a girl. Yeah, that wasn't a girl. That was actually a man in India. You got scammed.
So ChatGPT, the thing that users trust for advice, is now selling them drop-shipped junk disguised as handmade. But why does it feel like everything is an ad now? Why are ads being shown to us in refrigerators and in washing machines? The answer is actually quite simple. Hardware companies are dying.
No, I don't agree with this. Because Netflix isn't a hardware company, and they're doing it. There are plenty of software companies that are doing this also. It's just for money. Like, it's a way that you can squeeze people out of more money. That's it. I mean, I think that she's right to add in the hardware costs being a agitating factor. But I don't think you need that to be the causal factor. The causal factor is money. Companies are dying because CEOs are scamming the companies. They aim short term to look good for golden parachute out. I generally agree with you. 60% margins are dying. Well, but like Nugget, like I see what you're saying, but you forgot to contextualize it around the 60% margins being a function of a successful sale of a loss leader product. So you would have to measure the amount of money lost through the hardware sold and then counterbalance that against the probability of somebody engaging with the software. So that's not, I see what you're saying, but like that's not the whole picture.
Samsung has traditionally been an appliance manufacturer.
I apologize, another one. And there's also another additional cost. Is that like whenever you sell a TV, that's the end of the thing, right? Other than the warranty. Whenever you're maintaining software, that requires consistent money. That requires money that you have to spend all the time.
They sell you a refrigerator once, that fridge lasts for years, and they don't see you as a customer again until you move or the refrigerator breaks.
That's why you make the refrigerators break. There you go. So if they want to sell you a new refrigerator every year, make it to where the compressor for the refrigerator explodes on December 23rd.
That also means that there is no more money coming from you. As we saw with Vizio, they're losing money on each TV they produce, and it's actually the same for Samsung. And we know these executives need to show growth every 3 months. A regular refrigerator, that's a one-time purchase, but a smart refrigerator has endless revenue potential. After collecting your data...
Isn't that disgusting? Listen to that again.
Show growth every 3 months. A regular refrigerator, that's a one-time purchase, but a smart refrigerator has endless revenue potential. After
we have a big problem. Wow.
Collecting your data, they can either sell that data to other companies or they can use it to train their own AI models. With digital screens, now they can try to upsell.
Special Sirius XM limited offer? Yeah, they definitely, to opt out of this message call, why not just put a button there? Yeah, they gotta make this illegal.
You on other products, as we saw with Jeep, or they can sell that advertisement slot to other companies, as we see with the Samsung TV. Effectively, when they put software on hardware, it allows for subscriptions and one-time payments to unlock new features. Tesla already charges.
Also, another component to this that I'm not sure if she's going to bring up is that they sell the data. So whenever you have a subscription, that requires a probably email address, a phone number, a like a demographic information, etc. So yes, they're she mentioned it. Yeah, they're selling data.
$8,000 to unlock its self-driving car, which is already part of the vehicle. Mercedes charges a monthly subscription to make the car accelerate faster. Again, it's already built into the vehicle. They're just unlocking.
Should be illegal.
It through software. Think about Bosch's dishwashers. They're Wi-Fi enabled. They notify your phone when your dishes are clean.
Illegal.
They market it to customers as smart and convenient. No, you already knew when your dishes were clean. It beeped. But now the company also knows when your dishes are clean, and they can use that data and sell it to companies like Cascade and Finish, who can better tweak their ads towards you. The business model has changed. They're no longer selling products. They're selling products that watch you and monetize you as the customer.
Oh, I guess my point was that the data has a raw value as well as a value with it being attributed to advertising. So like a lot of companies buy data as like just a value, right? It's just a product, basically, right? And so like you're talking about like she's talking about specialized data, capture. I'm talking about just general data capture. Like, they're like, remember, so whenever you're getting a free sample for something and all you have to do is sign up for something, you just paid with your peace of mind. Because now you're going to be getting emails, calls, and messages from them. And also, this is what you love to hear, their partners.
Now, I can't stop Samsung from showing you ads on a $3,000 refrigerator, but I've seen the code and I've sat in the meetings. I know
we can stop it. You get enough people together, you do whatever you want. We should shut this shit down. It's fucking ridiculous.
Exactly why they are building these features, and it's not for the consumer. It's to squeeze more money out of people. When they say convenient, it's really surveillance. And when they say AI powered, it's data harvesting. Smart is just code for tracks you and shows you personalized ads. That's the innovation they're selling you.
God damn. This video is fucking based. Holy shit. Yeah, I've seen a couple of her videos before. Vanessa, I don't know how to fucking say the last word. But last name. But yeah, I'll link you guys the video. Make sure to give her a like. I mean, I'm really glad to see people talking about this shit. This is great. And yeah, stop buying it, you troglodytes. I know, man. It is insane. It's fine. Just get survival gear and learn all your survival skills. That's right, guys. You're gonna have to live in a cottage off the grid soon in order to avoid all the ads that are gonna be served to you onto your Samsung television as fast as they possibly can. This is such what a cocksucker motherfucker piece of shit fucking garbage system. I'm so annoyed by this. It's so fucking obnoxious. And I'm seeing this now with everything. Everything has ads on it. Everything gets ads. And I'm okay with some ads and, you need to make ads, etc. But are you saying Uncle Ted is right? Well, I don't know about that. But yeah, so now we buy the product.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so now you buy the product in order to have the privilege of being the product. Isn't that cute? I'll be right back. Give me a second. This is why EU is fighting for consumers. Well, you guys need to fight harder. You need to be proactive with this shit because it's getting bad. I know the US isn't going to do shit about it. I'll be right back.
We, in America, have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline. Marcus Rubius, first of his name, 48th President of the United States of America. And now, speaking of the West's managed decline, we gotta talk about England. All right, to all the Democrats who think Trump is a dictator, let me introduce you to an actual dictator. This is Queer Stalin. He is the Prime Minister of England for now, but not for very long, because he is stepping down. So, yesterday, there was a massive rally.
All right, hang on, I gotta
people
run to the
basically
bathroom
stood up
right
to
quick.
fight for England, because England is being ravaged by third world orcs. Ravaging and raping hobbits by the handful. And the government is literally designed and put defenses in place to make sure the orcs can keep raping. This is just so sad. It's so fucking sad. So anyway, look at bro getting eviscerated here. So first, he's like, well, we're not going to close the border to illegal rapists, but we are going to close the border to Americans that want to voice their opinions on how we're getting raped by orcs.
Tomorrow's march in London is a reminder of what we're up against in the battle of our values.
That's right. The values of making sure the little white girls get raped. Now, that is an important value for Queer Stalin, and he is going to make sure that that lasts as long as it can.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Hot take, racists are way better than rapists. Sorry, bro. If I have to choose between the two sides, I'm going to pick the racist every time.
Plain and simple. Their goal is to convince people that Britain's problems are caused by those living alongside them.
True, they are. True, very true.
But that is not...
Those alongside them specifically being third world rapists, by the way. Let's just understand who this brother is defending.
The Britain that I know.
Not the Britain
This
I
is a
know.
country built on decency, fairness...
That's right. We have to make sure every rapist has the right to rape. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't let the rapists rape, how are we better than them?
Respect. A country that is at its best when people from different backgrounds come together in common purpose.
It's at its best when there's an Islamic terror attack once a week. Now, the reason is simple. Who are we to stop Islamic terror attacks when that's their culture? All cultures are equal.
This is our country, with a majority who share
Our country, says Kami Mommy over here.
those values. A majority who may not always be as loud, but must always define who we are.
You just lost your election,
So,
bro.
My government will not stand in the way of peaceful protest, but we will act decisively against hatred.
Wow.
We will
Whatever
use
that
the
means.
full force of the law when that hatred manifests as violence. And we will ban those coming into the UK
There it is.
who seek to stir it up,
There it is.
as we have done already.
We will ban people for being anti-rape, but we will not ban the rapists. So obviously this did not go over very well at all. He got flamed for this. And in fact, little foreshadowing for a little bit later, Keir Starmer has announced he is standing down as Prime Minister. And we will get to that a little bit later, because first I have to show you what had that happen. So this is just a nice visual of British police on the way to make sure the 12-year-old rape victim isn't Islamophobic. Very important for you to understand the priorities of this government. So let's just lay the groundwork here. All right, the UK free speech crackdown sees up to 30 people a day arrested for petty offenses, such as
All right, I'm back.
retweets
Sorry about that.
and cartoons. That's right. If you retweet something Islamophobic, you might be going to jail in England, and they're arresting 30 people a day.
I don't have a
UK is
quest.
a prison island. Elon Musk gets involved. More people are arrested for speech offenses in the UK than any other country. All right, this is supposed to be someone that shares our values. Get out of here, bro. All right, so then Elon Musk also tennis. One of the reasons why we ignore the Muslim grooming gangs is they simply can't handle the levels of horror these attacks reach, such as nailing a girl's tongue to a block of wood while she's raped, having them dig their own graves, drenching them in gasoline, branding girls' asses with M for Mohammed, raping girls under the Pakistani flag. The list goes on. It's much easier to assume we're lying and the problem isn't real. And this got retweeted by Elon Musk. So, the libtards are out here being like, whoa, is Elon Musk retweeting right-wing racist propaganda? This tweet with its extreme claims caught the attention because Elon Musk reposted it. I asked Gemini if these claims are accurate. It assured me they're not. I then asked Rekt, which replied that the first four are in fact accurate, and it provided details and sources supporting its response. So I went back to Gemini, copy and pasted Grok's reply into a prompt, and asked Gemini what it thought about what Grok just told me.
If you
Gemini's
try to say
response
it's a
was,
good
I
morning,
stand corrected.
there's
I
the
apologize for my previous
goddamn
response.
door.
I attempted to separate the fact from social media exaggeration, but failed to properly verify the depth of the horrific testimonies from the actual trials. Like Operation Bullfinch, rather inquiries, the details
Look,
sent from Grok
Buckhead,
accurately
I'd say
reflect
it's
the
been
devastating
an
and brutal
honor
reality
to
of what
work
these
with
victims
you,
endured. So
but
just
it would be a
understand
lie.
how deep the psyop is going. Elon Musk retweets these horrible things that happened. This guy's like, that can't be real. That's just too brutal. He puts it into Gemini, you know, Google's AI. Google's AI is like, no, that's not true. That's Islamophobia. Asks Grok. Grok provides sources and evidence for how every single one of them is true. He puts it back into Gemini, and Gemini's like, oops, my bad. Oopsie poopsie. Elon Musk says these come from court transcripts. All right, this isn't like unverified allegations, like whatever Palestinians claim. You know, oh,
hey, what's up?
Rape dogs to rape Palestinians. Yeah, I'm sure they are. But this is true. This is proven. This is coming from the court. Now, this is a daily occurrence in heartbreakingly. In all of Europe. All right, terror attack in Italy. Muslim terrorists rams car into crowds of people, stabs bystanders, 12 seriously wounded. But you're not.
No, not really.
You might go to jail. All right, just this is fucking insane. We are absolutely retards. So this video is not the actual march. This is just people heading to the gathering point of the march. Okay, understand the scale.
On the march. Here we go.
People are just tired. Understand the scale, man. So, after the Reform Party was humiliated in labor in the elections, that's the libtards, Keir Starmer smeared the Unite the Kingdom rally as an extremist event. Banned conservatives from entering the country, but this is what it is. Look at that. Oh my god. Holy shit. Thousands of people, man. You know, Tommy Robinson, who's basically leading this march, says we want our country back. Millions are innocent.
We're walking up towards Trafalgar Square. The crowd's gone. Parliament Square ready to the crowd stretched from here to Euston Station, apparently, which is miles. And Miles, this is the biggest event in British history. This is the moment, a turning point for Britain, a message to the leaders. Britain's ready for the fight, all right? People are up, we're awake, and we're not going to back down.
God damn, it's just insane. We want our country back. Elon Musk retweets this. The thousands of British people imprisoned merely for social media posts.
I highly doubt that they updated it enough to make the game worth playing.
436,000 likes and 13 million views. This is unbelievably massive. All right, so the media, the leftoid media, is doing their absolute best to downplay it. An estimated 50,000 attendees are taking part in the rally. Please. Please. We see the footage. What are we doing here? All right. And then Piers Morgan, libtard extraordinaire, who supports the rape of British girls from Islamists, it seems, says 50,000. Wow, that's 2,950,000 fewer than Robinson paid at his last march. Poor Tommy. Utterly humiliating. Hope he's okay. Man, I really hope we can get more third worlders keep raping British girls. That would be fucking awesome. No, actually, Piers, you don't understand. This is just a line of men waiting to sleep with your wife. Okay? Pierce is an attention-seeking sausage. Here's some attention again, Pierce. Happy to do you a favor, proving again how much of a total sausage you are. Enjoy another public humiliation. Hope you're watching the live. This is crazy. Okay? And this is a lot more.
Holy shit.
My God. All right, so now let's see how the left is responding to peaceful assembly. With Palestine flags. Of course they have Palestine flags, because Palestine is the ultimate Trojan horse. All right, they don't actually support Palestine or anything. They probably don't even know where it is on the map. I don't know, but I don't know why they would support Islamic terrorists that raped and murdered and kidnapped Jews, and then Jews until they got their hostages back and killed the terrorists. Yeah, the collateral damage in war, that's what happens. It's tragic, don't get me wrong. But holy shit, did you guys
God damn, these soldiers are fucking tough to kill.
Started wars and lost? Oh my God. So again, it's a gigantic...
Life would be easier if I remembered to repair my gun.
Making believe believe they care about that when they don't, obviously, or they would care about the Christian genocide in Nigeria, or the Muslims getting genocided in Yemen, or in Syria, or the Christians
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Congo,
literally, I just went to the bathroom a little while ago, and Buddy attacks Shoujo for like no fucking reason.
that were massacred by the Islamic regime in Iran. They don't actually
I don't know what the hell it was all about, man.
they're fighting for. All right, that is why the Palestine.
She was just there playing with a twist tie on the floor, and he just got up and gave her the business, man.
These are the wholesome, tolerant leftists.
Should we shoot Tommy Robinson in the neck? Okay.
Get your clip elsewhere.
So they just said that they want to hang Tommy Robinson and shoot him in the neck like Charlie Kirk. It's getting very aggressive.
That's the left. The right is like, hey, we really don't like when you rape our children. Maybe we should actually change our border policies to prevent third world migrant orcs from raping our kids. The left is like, we need to just kill our kids. Right? Just understand, this is how the discussion ends. They're there with their Palestine flag saying that we love peace and kindness and shit like that, and shoot them in the neck like Charlie Kirk. All right, we don't understand the level of evil we're dealing with across the West, but it's insane. Now, the elites hate this, bro. It's insane, man. Absolute insanity. All the gamers get together. They gather up. Sargon of Akkad gave a little speech.
We have got to a point where we have a politician who, when he's called a racist or a sexist or whatever magic word they want to use, has magic words of his own. He has 3 powerful words that you should use in your own life. I don't care. They only have the power that we give them. We can choose differently, and we are. They are on borrowed time, and they know it.
That's right.
We are inevitable at this point.
That's right, baby.
Everywhere we go, we've been winning staggering victories. And I've got some good news. Rupert Lowe has declared for Makerfield. The battle is on. The war is going to be won. We are coming.
That's right, baby. Everyone's waking up. Everyone's paying attention. Even Nick Shirley, the guy. He went to London, baby. London time. All right, he goes up to the stage, and the Patriots are chanting USA, USA as Nick Shirley takes the stage. And just understand for a second, look at the flags. It's majority British flags with some American flags, Israeli flags, and the Iranian flags for the people trying to rise up against the regime there. All right? Like, these are the goats. All right, just understand. It's actually
God damn.
values against
Can I
the
dig in
third
peace
world
for a while,
that
man?
is overthrowing our nation. Wow, British patriots actually like the United States of America as opposed to the Islamic communist alliance that fucking hates us and wants to kill us? London! There he is! It's the fraud guy! Oh baby, the British government about to leer a lesson.
Today I walked with some of you here, and as I was walking, one sign really crossed my mind. There was a sign today that said we did not vote for open borders, digital ID, two-tier policing, higher taxes, loss of free speech, pedophiles in politics, higher cost of living. Now your media will call you far right, and your prime minister will call you guys dangerous. But the ideas of freedom of speech are not dangerous, or the idea that you want to know who your neighbor is does not make you dangerous. It means that you have common sense. We live in a world where common sense is becoming somewhat abstract to have. A lot of people don't have it these days. In the United States, we let an entire state commit billions of dollars in fraud because we're afraid.
These fucking guys.
Politicians were afraid of being called racist or Islamophobic for speaking out against the fraud.
That's our boy.
Here in the United Kingdom, had gun
being afraid of being caught out, right? You guys are going to jail for it. You don't understand.
Women be raped by gangs of men, and your politicians allowed it because they're afraid of being called a racist or Islamophobic. That does not make you a racist for speaking truth. No one should have to worry about where their tax dollars go. No one should have to worry if it gets spent into fraud or not, because we should have the confidence in our politicians. We shouldn't have to worry that our daughters are having to be careful who they go around, or a young woman in Scotland who is 12 years old shouldn't have to walk with a hatchet at the playground. I've been coming here to the United Kingdom for some time now, and each and every single year these marches get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it is time that your Prime Minister and that your government takes heed to your words, and take heed to the caution that you guys are giving them, because change is inevitable here inside of the United Kingdom, and it doesn't be done because...
Bro, Nick Shirley, he got tired of overthrowing politicians in the United States. He went to overthrow some politicians on Prison Rape Island.
Everyone should have the right to say what they want and have the freedom of speech. And may God bless you all, and thank you, Tommy Robinson.
Yeah! That's our boy. That's Nick. That's our guy. So let's see how the media is covering this. This little protest.
Put them in a vehicle and get them to the custody suite. So it is difficult if you're, as you see there, bang in the middle of that group of people, and something happens, you need to step in.
Right.
You then got to get yourself somewhere where a police vehicle can get to, which isn't.
Right. If something happens over there, how's the traffic is bad with the people? There's millions of people that's blocking traffic. What is
difficult in the middle?
Right.
And what we've got today,
Right,
two
so
big
true.
marches. So you've got a huge part of central London that's now shut off. So you can find yourself between the middle of the
shut
two,
off.
and nowhere for you and your prisoner to go to. So it has to be like a quite a definite decision.
Right.
And we've got to step in.
We don't care if the Pakistan-Palestine jihadi protests are raping our country and doing this every single fucking day, but I'm seeing some patriots, and I don't like that it's making traffic worse.
This point at this time to take that person out of the crowd. But 11 arrests so far. Huge crowds already, as we can see, going right the way back along. Stewards at the front. The stewards will manage the crowd.
It's so crazy when you see like the difference in like flags, all right? It's just insane. You look at like the Palestine protests, these people dressed in like the keffiyehs and the hijabs, holding like bloody posters and like the Sith. They look like the fucking Sith retards. And then you got the other people, bright colors, holding crosses, proclamations of faith. It's insane.
Now, if operationally, if there were a skirmish that broke out, I'm just speaking hypothetically, in the middle of this big street here, of this big throng of people, how would police deal with that?
You go in. You have to go, but you would go in almost with your team.
Other than, so you're looking at it from, I mean, we're showing people aerial pictures from a helicopter. Just talk us through how police.
How would we deal with the traffic? It would be awful.
If you're standing at one of these offices on the road junctions there, and that's the bottom of the Aldwych. So they're coming along the Strand now, as I mentioned earlier. Lyceum Theatre's just up on the side there. Coming down the Strand towards Trafalgar Square, Waterloo Bridge behind them, so a significant number of people. If some sort of confrontation or fight starts in the middle of the group, then ordinarily you're just aware of like raised voices and people moving away. So you're aware there's like a fracas going on in the crowd. So you try and get a position.
It would be awful. An entire nation descends on the Capitol to maintain. What about the traffic?
Yeah, they need the
And of course,
start the RPG thing in Hightail.
Prime Minister,
I think.
Everyone who turned up today and behaved impeccably ended this tyrant. Thank you. 87,000 likes. Dude, just unbelievable. It's time to restore Britain.
Hightail needs more than just gathering resources and building.
The Disney adult thing is a real problem. It is. It's a huge problem. I don't think people understand how big of an issue it is. And it's not because of the Disney adults, it's because what it means. And there's also a lot of people who do the same thing.
If you walk around the Disney parks and you probably notice something strange, and you'd ask yourself,
Where are all the children? The Disney parks are now filled with adults getting drunk in bars, eating thousands of calories worth of snacks, TikTokers taking pictures in the women's bathrooms, and worst of all, putting themselves into massive amounts of debt to go to Disney parks. Disney parks are now filled with some of the most cringe individuals to walk the planet, also known as Disney adults. There's countless videos on YouTube which criticize Disney adults for the way they act like children and are really cringe. And while that's interesting to explore, and I'll definitely make another video on the cringe side, I want to look at Disney adults from another perspective. What is the financial cost of being a Disney adult? From over-consumerism, having to buy every single product Disney releases, every single...
Why are they all fat? Isn't that crazy?
Limited edition piece of merch, to the limited edition must-eat snacks to try at every park, and even the cost of just getting into the parks. How on earth do these people afford it?
This couple, they spent...
I knew this was going to come up. I knew it was going to happen. Here we go.
$21,000 in 1 month. Once a month, and then one time in the summer.
That's a lot of money on Disney.
But unlike most lesbians, I think they're going to last forever, though, because they're on the same page.
Yeah.
And usually couples that aren't on the same page about money, that's where they divorce. But them, they're on the same page about wanting to ruin their lives for Disney.
Yeah, it's a page of debt.
Before we look at the insane costs of Disney, we need to take a step back and understand how the parks themselves got to be so expensive in the first place. 40 years ago, trips to Disney were easy and pretty affordable for the average family. All you had to think about was your ticket, a hotel if you wanted to stay for a few days, and whatever food you fancied eating at the park. Going to Disney today, however, is a totally different story. It's a stack of microtransactions that add up, leaving guests broke by the time they leave, checking their bank accounts and being horrified with the amount of money they've ended up spending. A Disney World ticket in 1971 cost $3.50, and if
wait, it was $3.50? It was $3.50. That's 19. Wait, that's like what, 50 years ago?
Inflation was the only factor. It would cost around $27 today.
Yeah.
But now a one-day ticket starts at $189.
So it went from $27 adjusted to inflation to $189.
Disney more expensive has been a key strategic goal by the company, conveniently amplified by the term Disney adult growing in popularity around 2015. The trend and term instantly became a meme, with people laughing at their own obsession with Disney. From bawling their eyes out from meeting their favourite characters.
I've waited 30 years to meet you.
I hate this shit. I hate it, bro. I hate this shit. So, I'm not sure if I'm ready.
To their insane...
I'm so fucking tired of these fat, disgusting, greedy, ugly, weird millennials that can't stop thinking about being a kid, and so they want to make the entire world recreate their childhood. Instead of trying to provide that childhood for their own kids,
I do have this, I do believe I have the smell mode on.
It's the absolute perversion
Yeah, I
of
do.
the growth of the human.
That was
and
one of
like
the things
human
I
life
liked from the
cycle and
original
human
game, is that the
experience.
zombies
Rather than trying
could
to
smell you.
grow up and become a person, appreciate where you came from, and create that experience for the next generation, you have to constantly live inside of this
my
weird,
zombies don't,
perverse,
they don't run
childlike,
or get any
childish
more
worldview
feral
that you
from
have to
smelling
look
you.
and
They just get
pretend like you're
attracted to you.
recapturing your inner child. Listen, Kathy, you're 29 fucking years old. The only inner child you should have is the
I
one
would
whenever
set
you're
it to
fucking
run
pregnant. It's
if my guy
embarrassing.
didn't take a fucking month and a half to reload.
So sick. It's just so
Or get wore out
It's
after
destructive
stabbing
for
something 3
society.
times.
I'm so tired of it. I am. I'm so tired of this shit. And guys do it too. They do it
That
too.
and I
It's
think
not
the
just
zombies
women.
run.
It's men
No,
too.
the
It's
sprint.
just
If
that
you
men
pick
put up
sprint,
with it from women
they will
more,
actually
so you
run
have more
faster
women
than you.
doing it.
You won't be able to outrun them.
I hate this shit. People say, "Oh, well, she's happy." That's the problem.
Where are you getting
Of
these?
toys and Disney merch.
The girls that
Where are
can,
you getting these?
get it, and the girls that don't. Well, I'm playing ball, shooting, double-fisted, drinking, son of a gun.
This is why I was gonna make a joke.
Hang
about
on, I gotta.
terrorism.
There was one very
I gotta
important
force
thing
a
that
snuggle on
Disney
Shoujo.
realized that these obsessive adult fans had.
Snuggle's over.
Did not, and that was money. As the parks expanded and people were willing to spend more, Disney piled on extra charges since 2016, and they didn't.
What
seem to
are
be
you
stopping.
doing?
Dynamic pricing, paid parking, individual.
Dynamic pricing is whenever they scam you. That's what it's called.
Lane, Fast Pass Plus, paid ride reservations, special event reservations, dining plans, photo pass, all while removing free services like the free Fast Pass and the free airport transport services.
fuck.
When you take a look at how these services increase the price so dramatically, it's actually
I think you might have
scary.
mods loaded up.
Isn't it so weird how you have people that, and again, like dynamic pricing, like, I mean, you look at this graph, obviously, like dynamic pricing
You have
makes
mods
sense, that's the problem.
attached, I think. I think that's how you get the 16K map. I might get the Nightmare. For some reason, that sounds familiar. But
where indulgence is seen.
Jesus Christ, how did I get so far from the trader?
It's like a cute thing that you do, and you have a culture of people that live inside of just doing this all the time. That's all they do. And it's like, you know, like self-care, like there's all the, like it's like a whole like hog vocabulary where they have all these words for explaining why they're fucking why they're gluttonous, right? That's it.
The Fast Pass Plus also
Consumers,
uses dynamic
treat
pricing.
yourself, therapy
If the
talk.
park is extremely busy and the rides
Test
are
it.
popular, the price for the Fast Pass Plus will be too. Dropping $500 for a Fast Pass is genuinely insane, and it's only for one day too.
It's ridiculous.
It actually costs more
$500.
than the ticket itself. But the sad
Crazy.
thing is, because the parks are so busy, you pretty much have to buy the Fast Passes, unless you only want to go on 3 or 4 rides and
embarrassing.
wait in queues for hours. From an English perspective, this concept is pretty insane. Like, yeah, we do have Fast Passes at UK theme parks, but you can get them for like £10 at parks like Thorpe Park and Alton Towers. And I get they might not be as busy as Disney World, but is it really worth the £500 difference? And I think it's worth mentioning that it's actually optional to have Fast
Well, it is worth it for them because they have a lot of money. Like, that's the problem, is like you have these people that have a lot of money and then or they go into debt, right? There's also that too. And they just don't care. Like, the thing is that all they do is they just think about getting what they want, and they never have, like, remember what I was telling y'all about how, like, you remember that family of retards, that family of idiots, and like they can't think more than 15 minutes ahead of time? This is the same thing. It's actually the same thing. Like, it's just it's the same impulse, different manifestation.
Passes at theme parks. Several European parks outright refuse to use them because from a moral perspective, they don't believe that you should be able to skip a queue because you're richer than some other person or more willing to go into debt to get them. 2 European theme parks, Bellewaerde and Efteling, say that they don't offer fast passes because we don't wish to give anyone preferential treatment. To be honest, it is a complete money grab by Disney, so they can get more guests into the park and have a payable option to skip the queues. And because the queues are so long, buying a fast pass is just as important as buying a ticket now.
And by the way, look at that. Like, remember what they were talking about, how there are no kids? Look, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. All the rest is just adults. Really? Look at that. God damn.
Now, it's basically unavoidable if you want to spend more time on the rides and waiting in the queues. All of these additional costs slowly add up.
I was trying to look for a mod that will put more cities
even though the list of additional
in the
charges
game.
Disney's added over the past 10 years are absolutely insane.
Vanilla has too much wilderness in it.
Get the hell out of here. Couldn't have alcohol at a lot of Disney's parks, with a few exceptions, of course. But flash forward to now, and alcohol is one of the big reasons Disney adults come to the parks. Since this shift, it's clear Disney now caters to their adult fans, offering an absolutely insane variety of alcoholic drinks available in all of the parks. But it's not just a few cocktails.
I'm not surprised.
They've developed a famous drinking game in Epcot known as Drinking Around the World, where guests spend up to 6 hours on a bar crawl through 8 themed countries, each with a...
Dude, how perverse. Like, you have this thing that's made for kids, and it's just been turned to a bunch of, like, fucking adults to just walk around and get drunk. I mean, this is just awful.
Cocktail inspired by the place they're in.
This is your sign to get drinking around the world tattoos for
I'm in the defense of the adults, man. There's not a lot of places where you could go drink competitively.
I think that, remember what I was saying about how, like, the word goyim completed my worldview? Like, I didn't realize that, like, there was, like, I had 99 pieces for my worldview. Goyim was 100. Like, the moment that I heard that word and I realized that, so then they, like, everything
That's fucking
just
nuts.
made sense.
So it's like World War Z
It
zombies.
made sense, bro. Like, financial advisors. Oh my god. Talk about fishing where the fish are, right? What'd you expect?
Aside from the awful audio, you get the point here. Disney is catering more towards Disney adults, who have a lot more money to spend than the children. And as a quick side note, I really hope that title is fake, because that is extremely embarrassing. But not only is this drinking game at Epcot great for getting people to spend over $200 on drinks alone if they complete the challenge, but selling alcoholic drinks is much more lucrative than sodas alone. A Coke or a juice for a child probably costs
This is the reason why I don't drink, by the way. This shit was expensive, so like we spent so much money on alcohol. Like
$4, but a cocktail is closer to $20. The markup on these drinks is easy because the margins are so high. It definitely doesn't cost $20 to make a cocktail, but guests will happily pay for it because it's Disney themed. Serving alcohol also changes who comes to Disney and why. Instead of it for being for kids,
parkour
birthdays or
is
special occasions
always
for kids, it's
the
now a
best
place
way to
for
escape
adult-only
anything in any
holidays.
video game, man.
Bachelorette party, dude, I'm just
Because
not,
usually the NPCs don't have the same athletic abilities as the player does.
Somehow, right? But how we do that? But we gotta figure out a way.
Subscribers.
And even if they do, they usually don't have the coordination that the player has.
With one person saying, it went from being a family-friendly experience to being a mob of drunk, dehydrated, aggressive who behave worse than hungry children. Alcohol also encourages guests to stay longer, spending more time in the bars and restaurants, conveniently buy more food. I don't know about you, but when I've had a drink, I get absolutely starving. And it seems like Disney knows this too. And what better way to take advantage of all those slightly buzzed or just straight up drunk guests than the largest selection of snacks in the world. Littered across almost every path in the park. At Disney, trying the snacks are just as important as going on the rides.
Get a turkey leg? A turkey leg? That's a fucking... You seen how big a fucking turkey is?
Meeting the characters. The snacks are also ridiculously expensive.
How much?
Often between $10 to $20.
20 bucks this piece of shit?
One thing. And the most ridiculous thing
I
that
like
I've
kind of
found
how
is
they're spanning.
One piece of bacon on it for $10.
And you see also, by the way, look at all that fat. Like, am I the only one, like... I get what y'all Muslims do.
I think they're trying to give you a variety of... Because there's a lot of different types of zombies in the zombie genre. I think that's what they're trying to do, is give you the options of what kind you're dealing with.
Really?
Who's
calling? It's nasty.
The snacks are already expensive, but slap a Mickey shape on there.
That's why I usually set up mine with high numbers of zombies.
And then costs $5 million. You'll spend almost $8.
But they don't move very fast.
Okay, so I recommend instead spending that money on the Pepper Jack pretzel at Cheshire Cafe. It's a warm
I think one of my games, they jog when they smell you.
worth it in my opinion.
No. What were you dressed up as?
It's a warm pretzel stuffed with gooey pepper jack cheese, and it's just...
Oh my god. See, this is the problem right here.
They're starting to abuse pepper jack cheese. Pepper jack cheese is the new ranch dressing, I think.
Like you're a kid.
It's like fucking literally going on everything.
Like, that's what's so sad. It is. Like, you've worn worse. I have, but I did it for a joke. And so they can all vote. I know that. I know. We got a lot of work to do. We got a whole lot of work to do.
way more worth it in my opinion. 2, Mickey bars are obviously iconic, but they're just $6 for a basic chocolate ice cream bar. So instead, you can get a fresh single scoop of ice cream at Plaza Ice Cream Parlor with Mickey ears for $4.99.
But it's not the difference of $1. It's like $1. Like you're talking about spending $5 or $6 for an ice cream cone, and you want to act like the $1 difference. Oh wow, I'm saving money. Like it's not even a big deal.
Just 1 or 2 snacks I guess they're having in the parks, as they're often spending over $50 on just snacks alone, and not even considering the main meals that they'll be having throughout the day.
This is a work of art. This is a work of art.
Corn dog nuggets is $10.
This is a
Gideon's Bakehouse cookie, that's $6.
Work of art.
That seems like that's okay.
This is a work of art.
That's crazy. That $8.29 for some fucking strawberries? Some strawberries in a waffle? Can't you get this at IHOP for like $3?
This is a work.
Before diving into all of the endless tomfoolery what the Islamic Republic of Iran does while playing with the buttholes of their pet goats, I wanted to take this moment to say I wanted to honor our fallen heroes, the goats, the actual legends, the people that made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of our country. So Donald Trump, actually, on Memorial Day, gave a little speech.
Lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
They will never have a nuclear weapon. Now, all the neocons are saying that Trump is not warring enough. All of the other morons on the other side are saying that Trump is warring too much. I am a simple man, and I expect the Donald to make a decision that's going to blow all of our minds. Now, just to understand how we actually... This is the first time Google has ever had an American flag in its logo for Memorial Day, and they do now. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think Google is evil pieces of shit, all right? My opinion of them has not changed slightly. I am a cynic, and I always will be a cynic. However,
yeah, I don't like Google either. I use Bing. People make fun of me for using Bing. But
if you're a leftist,
fucking I don't like Google.
So obviously right wing or the Patriots, right?
So yeah, I don't care if you make fun of me for using Bing. Fuck you. I don't care.
That is basically what is happening here. This isn't Google having a change of heart. This is Google realizing all of a sudden the people of America appreciate an American flag more than a pride flag. So just to show you how the Democrats celebrated Memorial Day, Mayor Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, today we remember George Floyd, who was murdered by a former Minneapolis police officer 6 years ago. That moment changed our city forever. Just for the record, he wasn't actually murdered 6 years ago. He was a career criminal that pointed a gun at a pregnant woman that was driving under the influence, that resisted arrest, that died of a fentanyl overdose, and he's basically leftist. You have to understand how demented the mind of the morons on the left that we're dealing with. He died doing what he loved, making white people look bad, I guess. You know, he drops like this 5-tweet message about how all this is horrible and stuff like that. Imagine crying at the casket of a career criminal scumbag who was driving on fent and pointed a gun at a pregnant woman. You're lucky the Trump admin is full of pussies, so you'd be getting tried for scenario of capital punishment. God, I love that the public discourse has moved so far to the nut side of the force that we're actually, like, literally saying we need to start executing some of these treasonous shitbags. Well, this is literally the autopsy. No life-threatening injuries identified, but fentanyl overdose. All right, this is literally George Floyd's fucking overdose autopsy. That bitch was a retard and died a retard. That's right, baby. -1 Democrat voter, I guess. Anyway, 5 posts today about George Floyd, 0 posts about Memorial Day. Many such cases. This is a deleted post from the official The Democrats account. All right, just to understand, this was a post saying that Memorial today, we're remembering the people that died for Trump's Israel war. Right? Just honestly, some demented, evil shit. You know, today we honor all Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice, not a service to a person or a duty, but to their nation. Using these heroes' deaths for politics on Memorial Day is disgusting. True, actually true. Now, just to understand what's going on in the Middle East, because it's gotten incredibly hairy, and I'm correct, by the way. If you watched my previous video, I covered all the neocons melting down that Trump is going to be making a deal over last weekend. Well, did it happen? Who told you so? Yeah, this guy. Trump doesn't want to make a deal with terrorist goat fuckers, okay? Trump is going for it. He might make a deal at the end. I'm not saying he won't, but it will be so magnanimous for us. I don't think you're even remotely aware of what a Trump deal looks like. All right, because this man has all the cards. If I make a deal with Iran, it will be good, and a proper one, not like the one made by Obama, which give Iran massive amounts of cash and a clear no path to nuclear weapon. Our deal is the exact opposite, but no one has seen it or knows what it is, and it isn't even fully negotiated yet. So don't listen to the losers who are critical about something they do not know nothing about. Unlike those before me who should have solved the problem many years ago, I don't make bad deals. And you know, honestly, just correct. He's just true. Yeah, I mean, listen, are you gonna doubt on the guy? Bro, deals have been pretty fire. Look at the deal he just made with China. We all thought China was gonna hold this man by the balls, trying to fucking giving us everything. Right now, just to understand, Rubio has been popping off.
To be open. They're going to be open one way or the other. So they need to be open. What's happening there is unlawful, it's illegal, it's unsustainable for the world, it's unacceptable.
Well, I do the one with the most loot. I think it's called Scavenger.
The Russians are not in favor of the tolling system. The Chinese are not in favor of the tolling system.
That's the one with the most loot.
Do not like Iran's tolling
here.
system on the Strait of Hormuz, and if they don't like it, well, then it's not gonna last. That's for sure. You know,
I'm like this game I got set up as like the easiest.
And I'm so glad
I got it set up.
Absolutely kicking ass everywhere he goes.
My blood moon is every 7 days. Every 7 days, and it doesn't vary from that. I get no blood moon warning. My blood moon count is 64 enemies. That's the highest it'll be. All my speeds are set at walk. Feral zombie sense I have turned off. AI smell mode is walk. Airdrops every day. Mark airdrops on. Biome progression on. Storm frequency 50%. My advanced is player block damage 300%. AI block damage is 50%. AI blood moon block damage is 50%. Loot abundance is 200%. Loot respawn time is 5 days. Chunk reset time is 10 days. No death penalty, no drop on death, no drop on quit. Enemy spawning on, creative mode off.
Not every Muslim that's a pedophile.
Daily quest progression limit unlimited. Restrict cam mode disabled. Jar refund at 50%. And then these things I really don't pay that much attention to, because most of the time I'm playing by myself. That's more That's all the multiplayer shit.
All right, just to be clear, the U.S. soldiers being based as fuck, as always, filming half a dozen.
But yeah, those are all the easiest settings. The player block damage, the only reason I did that is so I could dig through shit. I hate spending time. Dude, I hate when it takes like 15 whacks to chop down a tree, man.
Proxy of Iran.
I mean, basically, I could go in there. Here, I could chop down a tree and show you. I got. It's probably only maybe 3-4 whacks before a tree comes down.
Hezbollah fire. You know, like, bro, hello. Since the ceasefire began, Hezbollah killed 11 Israelis. And there's no reason why this should be a thing. Another Israeli civilian home in the town of Metula hit by an explosive drone fired by Hezbollah. Hezbollah is continually violating the ceasefire. No one cares.
Most of the time when I'm playing for streaming, I'm base building.
It's honestly because
I have yet to build a base that I could defend from within.
Just to be clear, Israel decided, you know what, fuck this shit. They struck 70+ targets in infrastructure. All right, classic. Israel launched Operation.
It's more like I
Fire.
build a
Schools
battle
closing
zone.
across northern Israel tomorrow.
Kind of.
Today, Beirut evacuating tonight. The IDF Home Front Command is telling its citizens to prepare for what is coming. We will see what happens. All right. Now, just to understand, there were these negotiations going on, right?
A great deal, or it won't
Try
be a
making
deal at all.
bottlenecks.
Iran says a degree of understanding has been reached with
obstacles.
the U.S. as the country's president has ordered some internet service to be restored. Both sides say it's a work in progress. As talks continue to have.
What can I say? The Donald is making schmoves. People think he's just going to do an Obama deal. He's just going to be like,
Oh, I was going to chop down a tree.
Like, okay, no, dude.
I'm going to go chop down a tree for you.
And then he'll be like, okay, fine. All right, bro, that's not happening. All right, there is way too much crying on the timeline.
A roadmap for resolving
Do not be a
issues.
panicking.
Here's where those talks stand. Now,
I usually fight outside.
As well as ending
that's just because I fucking, if whenever I get caught fighting a bunch of zombies inside, I always end up getting stuck in a corner and getting my shit rocked, man.
Also need to take an active role in a broader regional.
All right, here's a good, nice sized tree.
For the record, this is something way better than Obama got us. Obama
5 whacks, that tree is down. 5 whacks takes down a large tree. 2 takes down a small. So between 2 and 5 whacks, I'm taking down trees. I could clear a lot of area real quick.
Nuclear shit. All right, all the dust is coming with us. Now Israel, like a head going down while the deal is being made. Obviously, a lot of people are not very happy with this. One of the major narratives is that this is sabotaging the deal. As far as I'm concerned, killing terrorists is fucking awesome, actually, and we have all.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a multiplayer map for the 4 of us to play, definitely crank up the player block damage.
More importantly,
wow, look at that storm out there.
Civilians every day. Like, there's no reason to keep them around. Honestly, literally, it's time for them to go. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this is the funniest post I've ever seen.
Yeah, but if you notice my combat style, I tend to. I serpentine in reverse. I back away from the enemy. So I never see what I'm moving into. And that's how I always end up backing into a bathroom or fucking backing into the corner of a room or something. That's why I like fighting outside, because I could keep the enemy in sight and move away from them without worrying about getting trapped. I mean, yeah, occasionally I'll back into a fence or a car, but still, like, those are easier to get around. I'm not trapped in a corner.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. This is huge. If Iran is willing to do this, it means they have absolutely been utterly, completely fucking destroyed. And the new people in charge, whatever you want to say, are not as radical as the people that they have. Well, the people that we have already
fucking break my leg.
To Satan's backyard. All right, listen, man. The previous Ayatollahs, they are currently getting raped by the devil. We have relocated them to a slightly warmer location. All right, and these guys obviously do not want to follow suit. Now, just to understand, Iran, while the peace ceasefire is still in effect, we are
get
still
my
having
mini
a
bike
blockade
that way. I
over
don't have to
Iran.
worry about fucking up
Iran
my
is
ankle anymore.
Begging for a deal. They just don't want to give up their enriched uranium. That's my guess. And Trump is like, no, we're not willing to do a deal unless you give us literally fucking anything. We want absolute surrender. While all this is going on, we're still bombing their shit. But you don't understand. We're bombing their
I usually don't mess with the electric fence. I'll use just wood spike traps to bottleneck.
Iranian state media also reporting explosions in other cities as well. The attacks coming as intense.
I'm really big on bottlenecking the enemies, especially with the assault rifle. You just got to raise that up head level and just start pumping off shots, dude.
There will be no retreat. And there's this from President Trump.
Yeah.
These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure.
I already showed you. Iran was struck by the U.S. after the IRGC got caught lying.
Yeah, but you can always make landmines too. The problem with that is you got to remember where you put the landmines.
Because Iran is not mentioning this.
Because I've made minefields that I've completely forgotten about. That's why I usually shy away from the mines. I shy away from the dynamite too, because it tends to be unpredictable.
Self-defense and like, what are they gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I've had dynamite bounce back at me.
Absolute cinema. It's like, oh, you have something to say about our self-defense attack? Absolute cinema. Large fires on Iran's Karg Island have been noted, right? So here we got satellite images from NASA on the fires in Karg Island. All right, so obviously
what the fuck's going on?
Crazy shit is going on there.
Why is my mouse not working?
I don't know what it could
There we
mean.
go.
I do know that Karg Island is where they have all their oil. I don't know if the dog.
That was weird. My mouse wasn't working.
All right, now they got this guy on Jubilee. His name is Greenwald.
All right, I'm better now.
Some fucking activist, gay retard, journalist guy or whatever. So Jubilee, the big debate show, they got this guy on their show to debate how actually, well, we are losing the war to Iran and Trump is owned by Israel and, you know, like all the classic, like, low IQ takes.
They've changed a lot of the perks.
Pro just got eviscerated. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there.
Damn it, I forgot to fucking repair my AK again.
Some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games. Complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call of Dragons on free cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Now, back to the chaos. Every individual sign up literally supports the channel. So if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated. Like this.
President Trump is subservient to the Israel lobby.
All right, so that's his claim.
Whoa.
Hey, good to meet you.
Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mattel. I think an important thing to do with debates is to define our terms. Can you please tell me what subservient is?
Yes, serving the interests of someone else, taking orders from somebody else, taking directions from somebody else, not in every case, but as a general posture ethos.
Okay, so that's already a problem, because subservient doesn't mean not sometimes taking the case, sometimes not subservient.
Subservient means you obey the guy.
Usually,
subservient means
and it's just for mostly myself, because I really don't play with other people. I'll mark
the guy who kind of likes Israel.
minefields, usually just with a big solid block.
You want to set it up so that if you can point to one
Just set up
example
cobblestone
where
blocks
President Trump didn't do what
on
Israel
the
wanted.
to mark the corners of the perimeter.
And Israel wants to keep bombing Iran. All right, like that's the biggest, obvious, most fucking massive difference in the world. All right, you know, Trump told Israel 9 months ago to end their 12-day war, and Israel did, even though Israel wanted to continue. Right now, Trump wants to make a deal with Iran. Israel does not, and that's what's happening anyway. Like anyone that has, and these are the biggest things. Like these aren't little tiny details. These are really big.
Then that means somehow he's not subservient to Israel. That's
Sure, right
you
now.
just want to creating a binary framework where as long as you can point to one example where the Israelis wanted something. Right, so that's why I'm saying that is not what this proposition means. It doesn't mean that in each and every case, President Trump is fully and absolutely obedient to Israel. That if you
When he says subservient, he doesn't actually mean the meaning of the word subservient. He just kind of means that Trump and Israel get along pretty well.
if you want me to concede,
What? Yeah, so he lost the debate. so he just lost the debate.
that there are instances, I will be happy to point to some as
Oh, so he's not subservient? Cool. Anyway, it keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. He keeps changing his arguments as they keep going. Like, bro.
President Trump said that every single time Sheldon Adelson came to the White House, they asked for things for Israel, and he gave it to them.
A few moments later.
What you're saying is that he is just giving everything they want as if
I didn't say that. Every single time, Sheldon Adelson came to the White House, they asked for things for Israel, and he gave it to them. He gave it to them.
Actually, you literally said that. You said,
and he gives a little bit of pushback. I never.
And he gave everything they want.
Every single time, he gave it to them.
Yeah, just absolutely miserable showing. They come out here, the massive, grandiose claim. Every time they're proven that their claim is actually fucking bullshit, right? They just, I never said that. I'll gaslight you now. I'll twist my words. I'll come up with new definitions for terms. Bro, it's just miserable. And everyone did this to him. Right, so Glenn Greenwald doesn't think we should stop Iran from funding terrorist organizations.
And froze $16 billion in assets to the regime, and then also waived sanctions so they could sell over
Whose
$100
assets
billion.
were those?
They're theirs. They're frozen. That's
Iran's assets.
correct, but that's
Yeah, we froze Iran's assets that they were using to fund terrorists to kill our people, yeah.
going against them.
IRGC is the #1 state sponsor of terrorism. I'm curious, like, Glenn, do you think that we should, like, sanction
or freeze Russia's assets? Do you think we should ever?
Like, these people are fucking phenomenal. He's amazing. Who are we to stop Iran from funding terrorists that are killing us? You know, we've lost 1,000 people to Iran shit. All right, Hezbollah killing 240 of our troops in Beirut, of our Marines. You know, all the roadside bombs in
Where's
Iraq.
the-
You know, funding the Houthis,
There it
bombing
is.
our ships, funding Hamas,
Oh,
killing
I don't
dozens
need these.
of us.
I got it in my bag.
It's absolutely insanity.
No, because I want to make those
Complete
into.
insanity. All right, and every single time he just loses miserably.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm back. So we're gonna get into whether
You
or
know
not
what?
this is
I
an
don't.
error first.
I'm
I just
gonna.
wanna start with one
I'm
thing
gonna
that
make a
you've been
new
saying,
one.
is that
I'm
we
gonna
fight
start a
wars
blood
at the
moon
best.
base.
Which is very important. So in
I didn't
Israel,
say that. Subsidize the Israeli
No,
military
that-
to send
Let me
tens
make
of
it in my
billions of dollars
Lugan
to
one.
Israel
Wait,
to go to war
So
for
now it's
Israel.
tens of-
been saying
War for Israel. I never said that. Bro! You can never trust the words that are coming out of their mouths. These people are pathological liars. It's unbelievable.
I'm gonna
They
make it
say
as
the
big
thing,
as I
and then
can.
They could just make believe that they said something else. It's amazing.
that we fight wars at the best of Israel. So in
I didn't
Israel,
say that.
go to war
So
for
now it's
Israel.
tens-
We've been making this purely about Israel.
I
and our
don't
involvement
think
with
it's about Israel.
Yes, you do. Yes,
no,
you
I
have.
haven't.
You've been,
That's
why are you
bullshit.
so scared to debate the truth? You've been making this about it.
It's not about. It has nothing to do with Israel. Even though I spent like the last hour talking about how it's just about Israel. All right, it's just miserable. All right, so this guy basically not understanding that Iran has committed active wars against us for years.
Difference between smaller conflicts or like a general conflict that's going on for a long time and like a large-scale war and even like, for example, small military engagements. Like, for example, Midnight Hammer, we bombed Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan were more smaller engagements, right?
If
And by the way, we pulled that pretty quickly and everything was fine afterwards.
If Russia came to the United States and bombed 3 different nuclear facilities in the United States with B-52 bombers of the Russian
Are you
Soviet
saying
analog,
Cash was
would you
Bella?
say?
I love one of my favorite things
Here,
that
let me get some
leftists
coffee
do in
while
general,
that's generating.
this is just like a broad rule, is they try to call you
I
a
think I need to
hypocrite by coming up with an
descale my
absolute
coffee pot again.
retarded moral equivalence. You think it's okay for us to stop Iran from getting nukes, but you wouldn't support if Russia bombed our nuclear sites? Yes. Yes, I am okay with stopping Iran from getting nukes, but also not wanting Russia to bomb our nuclear sites. Like, this is the level of retardation we're dealing with. Oh, you're such a hypocrite. You want the leaders of Iran to get assassinated, but you don't want Trump to get assassinated? Wow, what a hypocrite. Maybe if you're a leftoid and you have zero actual moral substance behind anything you say or believe, maybe that shit works on you. But to normal people that are like, yeah, I actually want the good guys to win and the bad guys to lose. And I'm not okay when the good guys lose and the bad guys win. Yeah, I know. I'm dumbing it down so that the lowest IQ slop eater can understand this, but I have to make sure that the Muslims watching understand.
Would you consider that to be an act of war?
Yeah, you're saying it would be Cassius Belli,
No,
right?
I'm not
Cassius
talking about
Belli means act of war.
Yeah, would you?
So
would
yeah,
you,
it would be Cassius Belli. That's the answer.
Okay, congratulations on using that.
Right.
I'm just wanting to. I don't want to necessarily test your language. That would be an act of war, right?
Yeah, the same way.
Okay,
Hold on. The same way that, for example, the IRGC, the Pakistani guy that was recently
Get
convicted,
ready.
he admitted that the IRGC paid him and tried to give him intelligence to assassinate Donald Trump around at the time where Butler happened. That's also Cassius Belli.
Were we
the
at
fact
war
that the
with
IRGC
Iran
tried
when-
to kill our president?
Were we at
that
war
the-
with
that the
Iran?
electorate elected-
Were we at war
I love how this guy doesn't. He thinks that us eliminating a nuclear threat to us is an act of war and it's completely unconscionable. But Iran trying to assassinate the president of the United States. Is
When I
actually
was looking
kinda
at the
cool,
mods, I
whatever.
saw
Now,
that there
here's
was
what they do.
you could
They don't
download
make ghosts,
maps
they kill
where
presidents.
the entire
like doing it.
map is a
Culture,
city.
you racist.
And in conflict
you
and
said
an
that-
act of war with
no,
Iran for a very
I
long
looked at it,
time.
it was
And
actually
it's funny that you're not
32K.
mentioning- You
I was
said
like,
mentioned the
I
fact
don't
that 242
computer to
Americans were
run
killed in
that.
Beirut in 1982.
The United
Was
States
that not
has
an act of
the
war?
United States has killed
Was that
countries
not an act
throughout the
of war?
middle.
No, but we've killed other people.
was just
We've
a
also
giant
warred.
city.
We've done war, bro. Cenk Younger crying. No, Israel got a week-long delay. Trump is back to unreasonable demands on the uranium. Unreasonable demands on the uranium? Trump has always said we need to take their uranium. What are we doing? He's always said this. I love how Cenk Younger wants Iran, a terrorist regime that chants death to America, to have nukes. You cannot make this
I don't know
up.
what you
These
two
the
are
most
up to today.
anti-American shitbags on the planet. It's crazy. We just can't shake these
I
guys.
might have
Literally
looked at
everyone
that
on
one.
the planet,
I
planet
can't
Earth
remember. I
wanted to
think
kill
I was on
Israel.
Nexus looking at them.
Thermonuclear blackmail.
That's why I
Israel
said
is
I think you've
blackmailing
got a
Trump
mod
into not wanting
attached
Iran to
because
have
I actually
nuclear
found a
weapons, which is
mod that could do
exactly what Trump has been saying for
16K
40
maps.
years.
It was just
Now,
an add-on
just
so
did
that you could
research.
make bigger maps.
And I checked it, and it's actually true. I couldn't believe it. In the past 4 days, Cenk Younger has posted about Israel over 100 times. He averages one post about Israel every 30 minutes. He posts about Israel every 30 minutes. This is shocking, all right? Literally. This guy's fucking crazy, bro. I thought Trump derangement syndrome was bad, bro. Israel derangement syndrome is fatal. It's fatal. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told confidants in private conversations Israel has little ability to influence Donald Trump's decision-making on Iran. Duh!
Yeah, I'll probably
Bro,
download it.
change that guy's mind. Listen, man, you could give him your insight and shit. If you think that someone is just out there completely controlling Donald Trump, he went out 7 swing states.
I don't think I have an account on Nexus.
Whack house, man. Like the people that call for the
And for some reason, the CurseForge scan doesn't pick up 7 days to die.
Evil cretins and lobotomites. That who is making up the anti-Trump campaign.
I'm not 100% sure that CurseForge and Steam are on the same page, man.
I'm not doing the whole, cave into Iran's bullshit thing and just make believe, let the media win. Right?
See, I wish there was cities in the pine forest.
Absolute dipshits on the right that
They
are
never
saying that
fucking
this is
do
gonna be a
that.
forever boots on the ground regime change, 10-year-long war with thousands of casualties. Tucker Carlson. And I also want
Just
an
to
apology
tighten it
from
up
like
a
the
little.
Ted Cruzes that are so mad that Trump is even negotiating with these people. When you see what the actual outcome is gonna be, all right? Stop being a panicking. God damn it, we got this man elected.
I'm gonna put this wasteland in the
just a
center.
modicum of faith in the guy until you actually see what's happening. Like, these people are grasping at straws, coming up with their delusional fan fiction and spiraling out of control because of it. Actual effeminate bitches. Really, man. Oh my God, these pussies. Let the man fucking cook, okay? Come on. Oh, but Donald Trump doesn't know how dangerous they are. They tried to assassinate him 3 times. They tried to assassinate his daughter 2 days ago. He's been saying how dangerous they are for 40 years. He is the deals guy. Let the orange man breathe. God damn, holy shit, these losers. Panicking.
While something like the Holocaust isn't exactly unprecedented in history with
as to who's going to come in second, unless you think
I don't think
he's
coming in second. I think he's coming in first. How's this? When Spencer and Karen Bass face off in the general election, do you think that she is going to debate him? Because I think if she does, he will kick her ass.
I don't think there's any chance that she debates him. And
so Gavin Newsom, Magic Johnson, everybody in Los Angeles is trying their best to
Why
save
is there no
this
towns in the
campaign
snow
for
area?
Karen
That's
Bass.
weird.
She just made a terrible mistake, and now Spencer Pratt is exposing what she just did, because what she just did is breaking the law, and he has the proof to show it. And now Trump is getting involved. Well, something big is happening. Make sure to smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's actually read what is happening here. Is anybody from Los Angeles? Anybody from California? Anybody paying attention about also the governor's race? It could be going red, and now LA could be going red. I mean, this is wild. This guy was the super underdog, like estimated to not
I'll
even
make the
be
feral
close to make
speed
it
a
to a
little
runoff,
more
and now
aggressive.
he's about to defeat the councilwoman. And headed
Not the
into
blood
a
moon.
runoff for the general mayoral election
AI smell
in
a little more
November
aggressive.
against Karen Bass.
Turn
He
their
might
feral
actually
sense
pull it off,
on.
ladies and gentlemen. And what he just exposed here, so he made this post earlier today. Karen Bass, he says, just violated election law. She is so accustomed to breaking the law with no accountability. She even filmed herself doing it. Well, those days are over. We just filed a formal complaint for illegally gaming the election. We must protect our democracy. Electioneering within 100 feet of ballot boxes is against the law, he says. Soliciting votes at a ballot box is against the law.
All that other
These
shit.
clear violations show reckless
Just make sure I got
disregard
plenty of
for
shit.
the rule of law in our democratic process. Someone in a position of power should be especially respectful of our democratic rules and laws. But this is just emblematic of Karen's mafia-like regime. Its rules for 3, but not for me. So what is he talking about? Here's the formal complaint, and this is why this is a big deal, because he's actually taking action, and she actually filmed herself doing it. Here's the video. This is crazy. She's going straight to a ballot box with a whole bunch of people to drop off the ballots. We know how we feel about that in the United States of America. And by the way, guys, look, I know prescription drugs could be extremely high right now, some wild prices, especially if you're on Medicare.
Yeah, CurseForge only
that I've partnered up with Chapter
picks up like,
I've seen them save people,
I want to say like 3 or 4 games that I play.
All they have to do is literally
so I can only get
and get a free
mods for those 3 or 4 games because their stupid app doesn't.
And maybe you guys, if you're on Medicare or about to be, can save thousands
doesn't
of dollars
pick up
with a better
my
plan.
fucking Steam
You give them a
library.
call, they help you navigate this complicated system of confusion. The number will be down in the description box below if you guys are very interested in that. I hope you guys give them a call. All right, so here's the video, ladies and gentlemen, that Spencer Pratt is going after. Here are the people with the signs, and watch where the ballot box is at.
Hey! Hello, everybody! All right, we're on the countdown! On the countdown, just one more week! One more week! Let me just thank you so much for all of your support. I know you have been walking precincts, you've been making phone calls, you've been over there at the headquarters, because we're gonna bring this to home base and win, right? I even have the babies on my side. Babies for Bass. All right. You're never too young. Hi, Joy.
Look at this. She's doing the whole campaign, kissing babies. She's going through it. And here's where it gets crazy. Here's where it takes the turn. She's supposed to be 100 feet away from all of this. And this is the type of politics. This is just where politics is at. These people have no regard. Like, they just don't care. This is literally illegal, ladies and gentlemen. Like, Spencer Pratt cannot do this. He's not allowed to do this. This is why he's calling this out. This is crazy. Is this rigging? Is this election rigging? Well, many people seem to think so. Many people have taken to social medias to call this out.
Yeah.
They are rigging the mayoral election in Los Angeles in broad daylight.
I think that's the city over there.
Daylight. Like I told you guys, there's a lot of people now, all of a sudden, coming out and defending Mayor Karen Bass, saying that she has to win, she must win. You got all these celebrities. You had Chelsea Handler. I told you guys about Magic Johnson. He did like a tribute video. And Spencer Pratt has been posting ads and exposing the homelessness issue, exposing where the money is going, right? People are going around Los Angeles. And you know, you can find these problems in other cities, but specifically Los Angeles with the homeless problem. And are these people actually homeless, or are they drug addicts? And we'll talk about it in just one moment, but this is why people are freaking out. This is why she's freaking out. Watch her reaction on camera, where she freezes live on air when she is asked about the homeless problem that she was supposed to fix, that now Spencer Pratt is saying that he's going to fix. And by the way, before we dive into that, I'm going to keep you guys updated on all of this, by the way, because he did, you know, he dropped the formal complaint here. Here we go. So this is real. Like, this is real. He's got lawyers involved. He's got everybody involved. We'll see what happens about this. But it's good that the attention is on this now, especially heading into the primary, to see who's going to go and make it out. And most likely it'll be a runoff between him and Karen Bass. Will he win in November, now that we know exactly what they're doing out there? Boy, God knows what they're about to do out there. Here we go. Let's take a listen to this.
When you talked to Jake Tapper in 2023, you said that your goal was to end street homelessness in LA by 2026. It's now 2026.
And we haven't ended it.
We have not ended it, and we're not close to ending it. How are you so off?
Well, basically, when I
Basically,
said that,
I'm
it was
full
at
of
the
shit.
beginning of my term,
Bro, he called out right into her face. How are you so wrong on this? Like, did you hear that? How are you so off?
Not ended it, and we're not close to ending it.
Why are you full of shit?
Well, basically, when I said that, it was at the beginning of my term. I am very
Our
committed
society
to
is currently
achieving that
living
goal.
through the
I didn't
information
anticipate
age.
some of the
Why are you
bureaucratic
stupid?
barriers that I would experience, but I am prepared to take those on now. And let me just give you an example. Los Angeles made a decision probably 20, 25 years ago to not address street homelessness, to focus solely on building.
What is this?
And granted, I have
Oh, I gotta grab some more plant
42,000
fibers.
units of
Alright,
affordable housing, but it still takes a couple of years. So basically, the policy of LA City and LA County was we could accept street homelessness as long as we were building. We didn't anticipate the problem metastasizing. In my 3.5 years, for the first time, 2 years in a row, street homelessness has decreased in our city. There hadn't been a decrease before. That is
I could play that on piano.
that impacts all Angelenos. Whether you are unhoused or whether you run a business and your business can't function because there's tents outside, whether you're a parent that's trying to navigate through tents to get to school, or whether
Wow,
it's
that is the
residents
tiniest
where
of
it has
towns.
decreased the quality.
Guys, do you hear what she's saying?
This
What
is
she's
the
saying
spot right
is,
here. This is where the base is going.
I'm so off, but like every other politician, I need more time. Elect me again and I'll fix it this time. I'll fix it this time. All you have to do is elect me again. But I want to show you something because I think this is very fascinating. And this is why I think a lot of people are coming together. Remember, when a lot of people voted for Trump, a lot of people came together that would usually never vote for Trump. But they decided to vote for Trump because they saw that Joe Biden was not even there. Kamala was terrible. The border was open. There were so many things that were happening that people were very afraid, right? When you look at how Democrats are viewed when it comes to crime, guys, how Democrats are looked when it comes to like violent crimes and all these crimes as a whole, Democrats are not trusted by the American public, which is huge because that's people's safety. So if somebody is mostly progressive, they'll look at Republicans as the party that will actually, you know, keep them safe. And that's a real thing. We could talk about that because CNN just did a piece on that. Speaking of this CNN interview, I want you guys to tell me what you see and what you hear that's different, that's making people attracted to this guy, Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt goes at it one-on-one with an ABC reporter. He tortures this reporter who asks what he'll do about the 40,000 plus homeless population. And his approach is something much more different because, as you guys know, ABC is always going to have an agenda. These people are always going to have an agenda. But you'll see the difference between him and Karen Bass as to how they even describe homeless people. Take a listen.
What are your plans for the over 40,000 homeless in Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, they're not homeless. They're drug addicts. Most of these people are addicted to fentanyl and meth. This isn't Spencer
Are you saying
making
they
it up.
don't have homes?
There is places for all of these people to sleep in LA. No matter what anybody tells you, we have housing and shelter for everyone that's living on the street. They're choosing to be on the street because they want to do drugs. They don't want rules. They don't want to listen. They want to have animals to abuse. This idea that they're forced on the street right now is a lie that our city is perpetuating. We paid $24 billion to house these 40,000 people. There's spots for all of these people. They are choosing because they're an addict, and you can do fentanyl and sumeth on the sidewalk with no repercussions. These places are not as they have to follow some rules. You can't torture a dog in some of these houses. You can't just attack people. You can't just be naked.
Where are you going to move?
Well, I just released a 9-minute video, so you can.
I think I saw your video.
Yeah, so it's very detailed.
But it's going to take time to build the facility and money.
No.
How fast do you think you can do it?
These people can literally. I went to Washington and I saw miles of the most insane prefabricated housing and building. I asked all the CEOs of these companies, say, how long does this take? I met with FEMA and HUD, 3 days. 3 days, and all of this is cheaper than trying to take over, kick senior citizens out of their buildings. Is what happens. They kick them out, and then the NGOs come in and they spend 4 years. This is LA. This is LA's timetable.
Where is this facility going to be?
It's on beautiful federal land property.
Where, in LA County?
Well, when I'm mayor, I'll go meet with the federal government and I'll get the property. Right now, I'm just running, so I can't give you the exact address because I don't have the legal responsibility to go represent Los Angeles and say, can I have this land? But when I'm mayor, I promise you, because we have the Olympics coming and everybody in the government wants LA to be the #1 most beautiful city, they will work with me to give me the land I need.
So you're going to move these 40,000 people somewhere, and you're going to have this facility up in, you said, how long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something. These 40,000 people, 60% of them, City Watch just announced this week, are not from Los Angeles. They're not from California. These people have been bussed in by scam rehab, scam NGOs, scam homeless nonprofits. These people, when I unplug them and say, we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle where the mayor will welcome them. These are products to a lot of people. So the people that want to keep doing drugs and live on the sidewalk, a lot of these people are going to leave. The other ones, there's a lot of criminals. There's people that are getting naked in front of kids. They're going to jail. The people that are torturing animals, they're going to jail. So not everyone goes in the same box. So we have the money, we have the resources, and we have the facility.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, wow. This is, look, he said something that I think liberals and mostly progressives now, especially these socialists, they're not going to say it. They're not going to say what the real problem is with the homelessness issue. Is that to have the solution to this problem is to expose the actual scam of the NGOs, the busing in, and the actual benefits from them. He's been exposing a lot more. I mean, there's so many videos that I can go through over and over of Spencer Pratt pretty much exposing how it is that these people are making money. Like, it really is, right? Like, and once he exposes this, I mean, this is, again, like LA mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt is surging so much in the race against Karen Bass that the Democrat machine is lashing out, launching desperate attack. Pratt is seizing on anger regarding homelessness, fires, and crime. So as he's exposing this,
he's focusing on everything they didn't do.
A lot of maybe Karen Bass will never really say those things because then she'll be exposing what's really running Los Angeles, what's really running a lot of parts of the United States of America, the people that are benefiting. The people that are making millions and billions of dollars, all these types of things. So, look, she's out there, supposed to be 100 feet from the ballot box. She got no respect for the election. She's over here, dropping off ballot, literally what she's supposed to be away from it. But that just lets you know they don't care. There's no consequences in politics for politicians at this point. And this is something that's been happening. Can Spencer Pratt actually make it happen? I just saw literally TMZ talking about it, and I'll leave you guys off with this video. Let's actually go to TMZ. Harvey from TMZ, who actually tried to he tried to challenge Spencer Pratt about where he was living, and you guys know TMZ is running propaganda right now. You could argue that they might be running propaganda for the Democrats, but he did say something here. The founder, Harvey Levin, predicts Spencer Pratt will finish first in the mayoral primary, which is huge. And he also predicts that Karen Bass is actually she's not going to debate, because it's not going to be helpful to debate Spencer Pratt. Take a listen to this.
I think Spencer Pratt is going to be in a runoff with Karen Bass, and I also think
Here's your
that
reward.
he's going to get more votes than her.
First of all, you said last week, and I want to reiterate this. This primary is 50+1. Otherwise, it's a runoff.
Right. It's going to be a runoff.
Right. And so the real competition right now is between Rahman and Pratt as to who's going to come in second, unless you think
I don't think he's coming in second. I think he's coming in first. How's this? When Spencer and Karen Bass face off in the general election, do you think that she is going to debate him? Because I think if she does, he will kick her ass.
I don't think there's any chance that she debates him. And I would have told you 2 weeks ago that I thought that he was going to finish third. The fact that you're discussing or handicapping now that he finishes first out of 3.
Oh, I absolutely do.
It's absolutely amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a change. I mean, it can honestly happen. I think it's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think about all of this and more, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys in the next one.
coming your way. Hey, hey, it's video of the day.
He stayed composed while the Dems got exposed. Our video of the day comes from the LA mayoral debate, where Republican Spencer Pratt mopped the floor with the Democrat dumbasses as they desperately evaded simple questions. Brace yourselves.
Non-citizens, should they be allowed to vote in local elections? Is this a yes or no, Mr. Pratt?
No.
Mayor Bass?
It depends. It's not a yes or no.
Depends on what?
Well, first of all, when you say non-citizens, it doesn't mean they're here illegal. It doesn't mean they're undocumented. They can
Doesn't
have
mean
green cards,
that
they
doesn't
can
matter.
be
They're not
perfectly legal,
citizens.
And there's a lot of states and cities that do that on very, very local elections.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yeah, I would say, again, it does depend. In other places, school boards have non-citizen.
It was a yes or no question. Like when I asked my assistant, are you cool or are you going to call the cops again? But in the wake of the devastating LA fires and the spiraling homeless problem, it was Pratt who turned up the heat on those responsible.
She's an incredible liar.
I have to interrupt you. No name calling.
The reality is, no matter how many beds you give these people, they are on super meth. They are on fentanyl. The Councilwoman Robin's plan for treatment first, I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth.
This is a MAGA Republicans' idea of what Los Angeles looks like. This is really not.
Both of these people have been the reason why there's no more Hollywood. You know, I talked to producers. They have to pay gang members right now to keep the streets safe, to go film anything on the streets of LA.
Wow, you know it's bad when gang members are the ones keeping the streets safe. What's next? Hookers paying you for sex? So just how bad is it? Well, how unsafe is downtown, Spencer?
Downtown is so unsafe now that they have to serve the food. All the employees have to eat inside. They can't risk going out. That's why all these beautiful restaurants are closing, because it's so unsafe. So before we require city workers to go back into any buildings, we need to enforce the laws of the street. Councilwoman Rahman is talking about safety, yet when animal rescue activist Rebecca Corey came in and said the dogs are being tortured and abused on the streets of downtown, she walked out of the hearing. She doesn't care about safety. She doesn't care about anything she's talking about. At least Mayor Bass pretends to care.
Well, leave it to a former reality star to bring a dose of reality to California's delusional Democrats. But what is up with reality TV stars? First Trump, and now Pratt? I'm thinking 2028 is looking really good for Snooki. Quote me on that. All right, Andrew, you live in LA. He is clearly speaking from the heart. He doesn't have to keep track of lies. He killed that debate. Does he have a chance?
He has the best chance that we've seen from anybody outside of this communist thought process, because he's speaking from the heart, as you say. No notes. I guarantee you he did not rehearse at all for that. But more importantly, every single thing he's saying is not hyperbole. That's real. And actually, I think he understated a lot of the situation. He's right. When you go down through the streets of Los Angeles, it feels like a zombie town. And he is also right about the gang members. I got a parking ticket the other day from a gang member. Unbelievable. I mean, that's how bad it is right now. But the other thing is that you have two candidates right now who are arguing about who can actually make the city worse.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, he's just a normal everyday guy who sits in 405 traffic and gets mad and looks around and says, you know, I could probably fix this. And now he's telling us how he's going to do it without actually rehearsing any of that political jargon.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's like, Kat, it's not left versus right. It's outsider versus the system.
Yeah, I was watching that. It had kind of like the Adam Sandler effect in his movies, where you're like the underdog and you're rooting for him because he talks like a human being, and also you can see that they're so pissed off, right?
Yeah.
Because we're accusing him, or Karen Bass is accusing him of exploiting his grief, when really what she's mad about is that she can't exploit it.
Yeah.
Because he actually is someone who is experiencing this. So she's not talking about hypotheticals when she's talking to this person. His house burned down. He's a upset that his house burned down, and he wants to run to change things so people's houses aren't burning down, and then nobody gives a
Yeah. You know what's funny? When you put it that way, Tyrus, it's like this is like a movie. The guy whose house burns down runs for mayor. He should win. If this were a movie, if Hollywood made this movie, but in reality, they won't support him. But if it were a movie, he would win.
Well, they would have switched roles. He would have been the evil incumbent who let the Palisades burn down.
Yes.
You know, and
it'd be a young black disabled woman running for mayor.
Who survived him trying to run her over when he was driving the bus back in the day. And it was only at the debate when they made eye contact as the crowd shifted in her favor that he realized that's the one I should have backed up on. No, you know what? But what's sad is that really the debate was over with the answer. He said no. And they said it depends. Well, there's nothing sexy about depends, ladies and gentlemen. Because there's one thing, and this is for Greg, the one thing about depends, it usually ends up some point, sooner or later, full of There was an opportunity for her to show that she was a human being when he said the exact, we'll go under Harper, he's telling you exactly where to go. If she believed in anything she stood for, other than her ridiculous suicidal empathy, it would have been, fine, let's go. I'll show you how my plan works. Because she knows there's not a chance in hell you're going to catch her ass down there.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad it is. I grew up there. I don't go out there to visit anymore. It's just not, I won't bring my kids to it. Because seeing zombies walk through the streets, it doesn't make the news, but it's everywhere. There's bubonic plague in California. I mean, it's bad. So you would think it would be a good choice to bring in someone who gives a damn, but I'm not sure California's ready yet.
Yeah, you know, Guy, I said this in the green room. I don't know if you were listening. Who knows? That if they do, if LA does elect one of those two women, then the citizens deserve it. It's like you've been through hell, your place is burned down, you got home, and you still elect the same people. You know, I don't care anymore. Done with you.
Well, we've seen it in a couple major cities in this country.
New York.
Yeah. New York, Seattle, Chicago, where lefty mayors do a terrible job and people are angry and the voters decide, let's make it worse and go further left.
Yeah.
And they might do that in Los Angeles. I mean, Spencer Pratt was clearly a politician there because it was a yes or no question on non-citizens being allowed to vote.
Yeah.
And he said no, and they had word salads that meant yes.
Yeah.
And so there is a very stark contrast. They're the ones, this is his advantage, they're the ones who have done this to the city. This is not happening to Los Angeles. It is being done to Los Angeles by them. And so for him to come out sort of guns blazing the way that he did, making all the points, they can't defend the status quo that they've created. So do you notice the comeback was, this is a MAGA Republic. That's the last thing they have left.
Yeah.
With the voters
I like
of LA,
Italian
but it's
pasta
not really
salad.
an argument.
Yeah, I mean,
Morning.
I
I got a hangover,
to
so
any
just
specific
keep
group.
it
If you're a
down.
voter in LA, what do you have to lose?
But then again, really only macaroni salad I get around
Your
here
friends, that's true.
is that Amish macaroni
But if
salad.
you vote for those other people, we don't care about you anymore.
And I gotta tell you, dude, they should have never introduced the Amish to mayonnaise, man.
Take this as a chance to change things.
Dude, those people are just off the rails with it. It literally goes in everything.
Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox.
Dude, they make their grilled cheese with mayonnaise.
I'll sell you
They make
food,
grilled cheese
but don't
sandwiches with
expect me to
mayonnaise.
cook it for you.
So, like everyone else, working class voters are fleeing the Dems. The New York Times talked to blue-collar Democrats,
you better
and the
get your ass
consensus
to
was
Cracker
clearer
Barrel,
than the
'cause you
vodka
dumber
and
than
Kamala's
listen up,
coffee mug.
jackass. You
The
don't
Dems
just
are
stand
turning off
there,
more normal people than a
up
sex
your
tape
ass,
from Rosa
get the
DeLaura and a
job
peacock.
done.
Once the party of labor, the Dems had become the party of elites, making their brand more toxic than Jerry Nadler's underpants in a heat wave. After years of support, the Teamsters are shifting away from Democrats and funding Republicans.
Asmongold just called down Hassan Piker and Destiny, and it's bad. Let's check this out. Don't forget to hit the hype button. Watch more videos after this.
A gift card. Okay. Why a gift card?
So let me get this straight. She's sitting there buying Steam gift cards so she can play Subnautica 2, while she at the same time has a GoFundMe running, or Give Send Go, or whatever the hell it is, running for a lawsuit that she didn't even respond to, that's now going into a default judgment. Did I get that right? Ethan Klein is going to lose everything for sure. Just like he lost to Casey Tron. That's it. And the damages hearing, the judge made Frogan pay Ethan $1 single for his worthless thought. Are these people writing fan fiction now? They're writing are you that down bad that you're writing fan fiction for how you're gonna win the loss? Oh my, this is so sad. These people are so internet brained. They think that because they're on the right side of history, that the law is just going to agree with them and they're going to plot armor their way through it because they've never experienced consequences for anything in their whole life. I think that's what happened. So you have these people making up this bullshit and everything else. So I should get default defendant judgment, reply to my lawsuit. Yeah. And it's not how it works. Exactly. Yeah. These people think that they're complete mental children. They are. Big surprise. Your weird, political bubble immediately gets burst the moment that it gets confronted with reality. Many such cases.
Yeah, Hassan Orbiter Frogan is out her mind. Gift cards, where Hassan? You don't want to pay your lawyers? And this is what you're doing with the money that's being donated. You getting Big Macs and gift cards. Yeah, we got to play the nasty song right out the gate. That's crazy. Word? Oh, yeah, that sounds like a Hassan Orbiter for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name. You...
Nasty work. Super nasty work. I don't know how anyone could watch her or support her. I've heard the numbers are going down like crazy, but still, I don't think anyone should want to watch that, but that's just my personal opinion.
Is Destiny like Hassan's Soldier Boy? Yeah, he is. And in the process of being an asshole, he's made a lot of enemies at Twitch. Bro, you don't openly call for vigilante violence. And again, like I'm saying that anything that Destiny has done that's bad, Hassan has also done. So there's no world in which, like, I don't want to bring it into myself, okay? Like, I mean, everybody's going to try and defend me. Like, I mean, people that don't like me have negative clips of me. I don't want to bring what I'm saying is that there's nothing that Destiny has ever said or done that I think really crosses a Rubicon that Hassan hasn't already been over a dozen times. Like, realistically, it doesn't make sense that one of them is banned and the other one isn't banned. Either both of them should be banned or neither of them should be banned. There's never a world where one person gets banned and the other one doesn't.
A category?
The reason why
Yeah,
is
it
because
should
Dan
be.
seems like he's disconnected and he's just off doing really big picture things, and he probably doesn't give a fuck about why somebody is or isn't banned. I don't think he really cares. Like, he's the CEO
I got a
of the
7 days to
company.
die
Like, whenever
category
you're the
up.
CEO of the company, like, you have to have this.
I
big
didn't
of a
change it on my
perspective,
schedule.
And like Destiny is like this much, right? He's not even thinking
But,
about it, probably.
Dude, as far as I'm concerned, ban both of them.
Yeah, it has a category.
Get them both up out of here. Like, I don't care. Both of them are banned. I don't watch either one of them outside of creating content. And
I don't
roasting
know.
the hell out of them. I wouldn't want to watch them, but I do think that both have displayed some real bannable offenses. Did I say that correctly? I don't care. Don't matter. Both of them have done some stuff that I would say could get you banned. The fact that Destiny and Hassan could just keep doing things over and over again and not get a complete ban would be insane. Well, at least half of that, right? Hassan, we need to get him up out of here, son. I'm joking. I'm more indifferent, but I'm not gonna cry about it. If he gets banned, If you don't get banned,
It'll be a good morning when you buy something
either way, I
and
ain't
get the
calling.
fuck out of here.
Like for real? Even at the 9/11 stuff? And with the racism too? Still no? No? Okay. Dang, Clancy, love him some Hassan.
I don't think Twitch is going to unban Destiny. And here's the reason why. Destiny has had so many clips. There are people that think Destiny talked to like underage girls. There are people who think that he's like a sex pest. People who think that he has done things that are illegal of sexual nature. He's in a lawsuit.
I heard
with
that
right
too.
Now. The amount of PR that
Yeah,
Twitch would
I
have
heard
to
that
deal with
too.
if they unban Destiny, I think would be
But
very high. He did. I don't know.
that's
if he
all
did.
speculation.
I don't wanna make any
Look,
accusations.
I'm still
already in one
standing on
defamation lawsuit
the
right now. I don't need another one.
on
So I'm not
the
trying
fact
to accuse
that
anybody of anything. And
he's
fundamentally,
not
even
the
if I
target.
wasn't worried about being sued, I don't know what
I think
happened.
they're just
And it would be
they're
very
gonna
problematic
bring
if
him into
Destiny
the
got
interrogation
unbanned,
room,
and
put him
then
under
all
the
that
hot
stuff
light,
came
man,
forward,
and
and
fucking
people were
hammer him with
asking, well, why is
questions and
Twitch
see
allowing
what
this
he
person
knows
back
and
on
what
that
he
said
can
this,
turn
that, and the
over.
other thing? And
I think
ultimately,
the
it would make Twitch look bad.
quote
And so I think
unquote
that's the reason
charitable
why they didn't do it.
organizations
Destiny
he
was
went
wild
there
out.
with are the
I can
targets.
confirm that. Right, I can't
I
confirm
think
all the details of
they
his
may
life,
be underneath
but I
the
can
umbrella of
say
this fraud
that a
thing
lot of
that
things have
they're
come out when it
investigating
came to
that JD
Destiny.
Vance was put in charge
Straight up,
of. I
he was
think
wilding
this
in
is
these
falling
streets.
under that umbrella.
Just disgusting with his actions. Jail time should be mandatory.
But
That's all I'm
again,
saying.
that's
all
my
I'm saying. I ain't
speculation.
gonna throw no accusations
I don't
out
think
there.
anything's
You
gonna
don't
happen to
need any.
Hassan. I think they're
He's
just
been
gonna
caught
fucking bring him
so
into
many
Congress and
times
scare the shit out of him.
being foul, but that's just me.
Who is he so like? Oh my God! Thank God! Thank God!
The reason why is very simple.
Let's
It's
get one
because
thing straight.
Destiny
You're
poses
not
an
working
existential
with me.
threat to
You're working
Hassan's
for me.
presence on the platform. See, Destiny and I are generally oppositional with most things, whereas Hassan and Destiny are a lot closer. And I think that the reason why is that Hassan doesn't want Destiny to come on the platform because then Destiny will cannibalize viewership from Hassan. That's, I think, I mean, like, that would be the accusation. Like, if I was going to try to make sense out of it, that's how I would try to make sense out of it. I'm not saying that's what's happening,
You're just
but
gonna come
I
in
mean,
like
if I
that.
was going to
Okay.
guess, that would be the reason
You
why.
gotta-
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, both
You
of them are
gotta sit,
nasty as
and you
hell.
can't step the A. Don't
Just
step there.
me
All right,
keeping
sit
it
down.
real.
There you
Tell me
go.
what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the like button and the hype button, and watch my previous video.
Hey, what is your problem today?
See, everything got so bad, actually, that it's looping around and becoming awesome instead. You see, it's become such an unbelievable
Being a meanie to your little
universal
sister?
tragedy that there is a bright side showing up. So CNN just did a little piece on Keir Starmer's popularity because it's unheard of that someone is this disliked by their own people.
For Keir Starmer right now.
He is the Prime Minister of England, by the way.
Things are bad here in the United States. Why don't you just go across the pond over to the UK, because things are just downright atrocious over there for Keir Starmer. Just take a look here. Britain's satisfied with Keir Starmer. Overall, 18%. You can't even drink or smoke anymore when you're 18%. You're below that line. That's not good. How about his own party, the voters who voted him in back in 2024? Less than 50% of Labour Party voters back in 2024.
Absolutely brutal.
Actually, you're satisfied with the job that...
You see, the thing is, not only do people not like weak leaders, and ultimately people are gravitated to strong male leaders. That's how it's always been throughout all of human history for a reason. And the funniest part of all of it is actually that the unbridled cuckening of the entire Western world is just going to result in an absolutely, positively radical new generation that's coming up. And I'm more than happy to watch it actually take over. It's inevitable, and I'm very excited to be on the front lines, as it were. The radical position of not importing infinite rapists into your country. I know, it's controversial. By the way, I'm not even kidding. While I was recording this, I just paused this for a second. I got a notification that England blocked one of my videos. This is the second time they've done this, by the way. I don't know, man. Like, I invoke the name of queer Stalin, and they pop out of the woodwork and block one of my videos. I had to file a copyright lawsuit against them. And it's not that, like, I even use their property. It's like I make fun of them. They get so upset they try to take you down. But there's one difference. I'm in the United States of goddamn freedom right now. All right, I don't need to be beholden to your communist bullshit, your anti-free speech laws. Anyway,
that Keir Starmer is doing. When less than 50% of your own party voters are satisfied with what is shaken, you know you're in bad shape.
Wildly unpopular.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. 18% overall. That's lower than the lowest president ever was in the history of the United States, by the way. That's pretty crazy, right? And his rival right now, Rupert Lowe, he's running for the far-right party in Britain.
Does the minister agree the solution is really quite straightforward? Ban all foreigners from claiming any benefits, remove from our country those migrants incapable of financially supporting themselves, and hand that money back to tax-paying British men and women who are actually keeping our economy running.
The funniest part is, this is like the most common sense, normal position to have in the world. It's like, why should we bring in foreigners from countries that do not assimilate to ours so that they could literally just exist off of the British taxpayer? Like, does that make any sense to you at all? It's the most reasonable, logical position, and they'll call him a radical Nazi fascist or stuff like that. It's honestly wild watching it happen. Right now, just understand who his rivals are. All right, so one of his rivals is this guy Zach Polanski, he's leader of the Green Party of England. The Green Party is the Islamic Communist Party. It's like the radical leftists and the communists and the Islamists. It's weird how they always come together. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's pretty interesting.
Kind of weird.
Like an
Kind
entire
of weird.
universal alliance being made by the forces of evil to destroy Western civilization because they hate God or something. But hey, maybe that's me getting a little biblical on yo ass. So anyway, you have to hear this guy.
Can a woman have a penis?
Yes. It's going to.
Bro, what are we even doing? What are we even doing? Oh. I can't believe we're still doing this, man. This is wild.
Take them a long time on the National Health Service to get rid of it. That's
right.
another separate problem.
All right. I think we'll leave it on a woman can have a penis. People. Can
I think you're lacking nuance and complexity about a pretty complicated.
Not really.
Nope.
No.
Actually, nope. Not at all, actually. I'm glad you brought that up.
No, you would be surprised how little of nuance there is in the world.
When you look at the
Some things are just straight up black and white, man.
It, which I think demeans trans people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to shame these people.
What have you got against trans people? Why are you punching down? Why are you not
punching down? Bro, these are mentally ill people that you are trying to convince are normal. Like, can we please stop?
I've nothing against trans people. I've already told you that I think trans people...
You sound like you have a huge problem with trans people.
No. It sounds to me like you don't...
These people are all such cucks. Man, honestly, I prefer Zach Polanski sometimes to Piers Morgan. I'm not gonna lie. Piers Morgan is obviously a lot less woke in this regard, but oh my god, just literally throw a pair. Holy crap. What is with British people and being just diabolically cucked? This entire generation, the new generation of British people are absolute mad lads. This generation of like boomer libtards, they are unbearably cucked. I don't have a problem with trans people. There's no such thing as trans people. It's a mental illness. It's in their mind. And we do not need to sit there and affirm their delusions because it'll make them feel better. See, the thing is, ultimately speaking here, in like a pure rational conversation, obviously Piers Morgan is right, a woman can't have a penis. However, he is less consistent than his opponent. Because his opponent is like, yeah, gender is just whatever the mind is. If you want to identify as a skunk, you can fart and identify as a skunk. Piers Morgan is like trying to play both sides, where he's like, I have no problem with trans people. Trans people are wonderful people. Also, women can't have penises. It's like, bro.
I understand what a woman is, which I think is a huge problem for someone leading a party in this country.
A woman is a gender.
Sorry?
You said what's a woman?
No,
a woman is a gender.
And
gender is complicated.
No.
Gender is a spectrum.
It's not complicated.
Genders are not complicated.
Is
gender a spectrum? Is it that binary?
So then why do you respect trans people, Piers? Right, so then why do you think trans people are real? Now, my stance on trans people is very simple. I don't hate trans people. I know I see some people in my audience hating trans people. I don't hate trans people. I just think they're mentally ill, and I think that they're dangerous because they have a mental illness. I don't believe we should affirm it. I actually don't want to live near one, to be honest, to be real. I don't want them interacting with my children, to be very obviously and clearly upfront. I don't hate them, just like I don't hate schizophrenic people, but I also don't want them taking care of my children.
Do you think people are born male and female?
Not necessarily.
Oh, for God's sake.
I think it's more complicated.
It's not more complicated.
It's not. You just think it's complicated because you're stupid.
Piers Morgan is the cuck here. All right? Because you're right with everything you're saying. So just acknowledge that transgenderism is a mental illness. And he's not willing to take that actual step. So ultimately, his position is less coherent.
Simple things are complicated to stupid people.
Okay, than that if you're a TV show host who wants to make it binary and ridiculous.
Zach, you're going to have to work this.
You want to have a nuanced conversation that actually reflects science.
You know, when I asked you if you want to be prime minister,
There is not a cat in hell's chance of you ever becoming prime minister if you don't know what a woman is.
It's just brutal that we're still having this conversation. Now, again, this is like old footage of him, seemingly, in 2013, claiming to be able to help women increase their bust size through hypnosis.
Actually, there was an article in The Sun last week where a client came to see me who was a journalist, and we had a successful project. We've done it a couple of times, and there seems to be no shift, but actually increasingly more and more as I work with people, there's starting to become anecdotal evidence, at least, of growth in breast size.
Bro is hypnotizing women to get their boobs bigger. Like, you don't understand the level of retard we're dealing with. All right, and this is the
Again,
same guy,
why?
But the same guy that thinks that there are infinite genders and he can hypnotize women to make their breasts larger. He thinks that there's no evidence that asylum seekers are raping British girls.
But there is actually no evidence that the people who are sexually assaulting people are people seeking asylum.
This is literally a lie.
Son of a
There's
bitch.
overwhelming evidence, actually. In fact, there was so much evidence, the government was covering it up because the evidence was so obvious. That's the craziest part of all this. The craziest part is, like, leftists could just deny reality. They could just be like, no, men could be women. No, that rapist that's raping that girl right now, he's not actually raping that girl right now. Oh, 2.5 million British girls got raped by Muslims over the last couple of years. Well, that
Fucking
didn't actually
my-
happen. Oh, a leftist
The
who
enemy
tried to
spawning
assassinate
was
Trump
off
actually
again.
was a Trump supporter that tried to assassinate
And I
Trump.
literally
That
went
makes
through all the
absolutely no
things and
sense.
turned it
doesn't
on.
matter. Logic is irrelevant because words are weapons to these people. All right, never trust them. In fact, this is
I opened
one of
up a
the people that's
closet that I
running the Green
always
Party.
knew there's
Right? This is
always a
person
zombie in
that's
this
the Green
closet.
Party.
And I opened it up and there was
He
no
goes
zombie
by.
in there. And I'm like, hang on,
Right,
this is
Hannah?
fucked up.
I'm
See? See? There's the zombie I was talking about.
Smeagol.
Right there in the closet.
I'm filming this to wish you good luck tonight.
What's up with my keyboard? What's up with my keyboard?
Your average Green Party individual. All right, now just to understand,
Hang
you know,
on, hang on,
that
hang
asylum seekers are raping girls. Well, just understand how much the British government works on behalf of the rapists to help them keep raping as much as they can.
14-year-old Iranian illegal migrant raped a British schoolgirl. No prison, no young offender institution. Instead, our clearly sick justice system is putting him through consent classes.
I'm not gonna lie, one of the most black-killing professions of all time these days, even below YouTube content creator, has got to be British media guy. Can you imagine being a British reporter and every single day you have to talk about how your justice system is like saying, see that illegal alien racist that just raped 47 children? Well, their punishment is not jail time, but because their culture allows it, we can't properly criticize them. We're gonna make them go through a consent course online. That's right, then we let them back in the public.
Let that sink in. He came here last June, an unaccompanied minor dumped on...
By the way, boat migrant is code for illegal aliens that invaded the country on a boat and is now being given funding by the British government. I understand what that means.
Beaches by a small boat from across the channel. We took him in, we housed him with British foster carers, we sat him in a British...
That means, the British taxpayer paid for this illegal alien to rape kids.
Bathroom. And 3 months later, and I warn you, some of these details may be distressing if you're listening and watching, he forced a teenage girl, his fellow pupil, into bushes beside a skate park, pushed her to the ground, and then raped her. The prosecutor told the court the Iranian illegal migrant asked the girl, quote, 14-year-old Iranian illegal migrant...
Yeah, and the punishment was consent classes. This is a joke. But, like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is an atrocity. This is like crimes against humanity level. Unbelievable shit. Now, Tommy Robinson, famous British activist guy who's basically calling out all this bullshit all the time. He, in fact, was the one that exposed the Pakistani rape gangs years ago. They put him in jail for it. Right? They put him in jail for exposing the fact that Muslim migrants are raping kids. So he did a course. And on his little class, he actually showed footage. He showed footage of different Muslim people basically saying, yes, we will conquer and rape the people of the land. Not exaggerating. He shows this course to people. And the leftists, who cannot engage in reality, they will literally tell him, you're just racist. Those things aren't true. Right after seeing the footage. is honestly, it's honestly incredible. The psychology, the leftist mind is truly fascinating. It really is, right? These are people that are saying, oh, we don't believe in God, we only believe in science and reality. And then they just deny basic reality that's in front of their eyes if it doesn't fit their narrative. It's truly fascinating.
Tommy Robinson was speaking at a college the other day when a student wearing a mask confronts him in the middle of his speech.
Here we
And this
go.
gets interesting.
But you can hear me. Islam
You still think COVID's going on?
is a religion
What's the mask? Can I ask what the mask for?
because COVID is going on.
COVID's going on.
COVID's still
I would
going
like to
on.
ask her, have you been wearing a mask since?
It's always
I have no idea.
Me when the leftist assassin
But
is
it
trying
seems
kill
to
but
me
not
like
wearing a
it
mask.
does it
Is there a time?
all the fucking
I
time
would
to me,
make sure that
man.
my leftist assassin is respecting COVID laws.
2020 that COVID has not been going around in your view? Are you just going to wear the mask forever?
Okay, are you vaccinated?
Islam is a religion. You are pushing racist hatred.
Yep.
That's right. Muslims be like, I'm going to raise your daughter. You be like, please don't do that. They be like, how dare you push racist hatred?
Campus, university, people of all backgrounds, people of your background, come.
Yeah, no one
It
cares.
deserves to be a safe.
You see, the thing is, people totally misunderstand something very massive here. Actually, we just don't care anymore. Right, your brews do nothing. You see what makes you cheer. If you are going to be the type of person that will celebrate the industrialized life of a generation of British girls, I actually really don't care about your opinions on racism or bigotry.
Okay.
Not a place for your hatred.
So this is that standard argument. You're propagating hatred, therefore the university shouldn't allow you to speak. Watch what happens when you actually challenge her on this idea.
Can I ask you just one question? What did I say that is pushing racist hatred? What did I say?
Said that you to Congress and spoke to Congress, the point that you did, that you would like them to round up all of the Muslims in their mosques.
No, I didn't say that. No. Do you want me to read you what I said? Let me read you what I said, because you're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
As if truth matters.
Okay.
Hilarious.
What I said.
First mistake, Tommy. The leftist doesn't bother himself with reality.
Round up and support every extremist.
Like every time I see like some sort of like British or any of these European leaders with like their approval rating being like single digits, right? Listen, man, Keir Starmer doesn't concern himself with the opinion of the Brits. It's like, are you serious? You think Macron concerns himself with the opinions of the French?
Is preacher, do you have a problem with that?
Extremist preacher.
Do you have a problem with that?
Is that by your definition?
Do you have a problem with did you see the men who were calling for murder on that video? You see the men?
Is that by your definition?
Yep. She's arguing there's no way to define extremism. As she claims, Tommy Robinson is too extreme to be on campus. Now, Tommy Robinson just played a video montage of what he would describe as extremists.
We neglected the principle of support, which is al-jihad fi sabilillah. And each one of us should be a soldier today. كلكم حتما سيقتل.
In this clip, he's saying out loud, you all probably are going to die in the pursuit of killing everyone, but you should go kill everyone. That seems extreme to me.
I mean, I totally disagree. I think that's just your average religious guy. What do you mean?
والله الذي لا إله إلا هو. All of them will be by Muslims. They all will be by Muslims.
Incredible hot take. We shouldn't import these people into our country en masse. I really just don't think it's a good idea.
And he's asking her, do you disagree?
Incredibly hot take. You see, I have the moderate position. We don't want to bring the people that are advocating for our deaths into our country. That's the moderate position. The radical position is actually bringing them into our country.
Agree. What we
Don't
just
fall for their framing, by the way. The framing is part of the entire facade. It's cool for trying to deport people. Are you insane? It's cool that they're here.
looked at is extreme.
It is your duty as a member of the Ummah, now that you are also an American. It is our physical jihad duty to fight the entire earth until
not
we
really.
enter into the Ummah.
And this
I don't want these people in our country, man. I do not want these people in our country. Like, here's the thing. They say it themselves, bro. They say it themselves. At least with, like, the Jew conspiracies. Like, and the Jews don't openly say it, this stuff, you know? It's like the Jews control the media. First of all, true. Second of all, the Jews don't openly talk about controlling the media. They just control the media, all right? It's a totally different thing. But, like, what are we doing here? These guys are openly saying this stuff, and we're supposed to make believe it doesn't happen?
goes on. He has about 6 examples in this video montage.
Problem with Just see the men who were calling for murder on that video. You see the men?
Is that by your definition?
Okay.
They're saying kill people. They are calling for murder.
Yeah, but leftists don't care about that. They'll all say they're all saying someone's got to do it in regards to assassinating Donald Trump. Why do they care if Muslims are going to kill Christians?
This has nothing to do with my definition.
All of them will be by Muslims.
We can objectively measure whether or not someone is calling for murder. This isn't.
But why is calling for murder a bad thing? Like, let's be honest. If you're a leftist, you don't believe in thou shalt not murder. All right, why is that a bad thing, though?
A dispute over the definition of what it means to call for murder.
I feel like sometimes I watch some people like debate right-wing creators, and I feel like I'm like a whole radicalization tier later. I'm so done with it. He's like, but calling for murder is like, yeah, they just like murder actually, right? I am like a whole platitude different than these guys.
So you see the men that are calling for murder in that video?
One day they'll reach me. One day they'll reach my power level.
No, I'm asking for your definition. Do you know the man on there?
We have a lot of different.
Excuse me.
This is similar to the postmodern.
God damn it.
We can't say they're calling for murder because how do we define?
Say that this person with a penis is a man. You can't say that this guy that says.
Really, you got to slow down to reload. You freaking.
Define what it means to call for murder.
Do you know the men you saw in that video?
We have a lot of different definitions.
No, your definition. I'm asking for your definition. You. Okay, so your definition. You know the man on that video who called for murder in the videos?
Show the man on that.
Okay, well, any of the men that you saw in that video calling for the murder and takeover of the United States, the subjugation of non-Muslims, any of those problems, do you define
I can't believe I had to slow down to reload.
I don't define either one of you as extremists. I define you as having a viewpoint and an opinion that you're stating.
Can I ask? Okay.
But
in my opinion, I don't want Muslims to commit holy war jihad and conquer our country. I know, call me crazy.
Yep.
Your opinion fuels hatred.
Tommy Robinson.
True. I actually think that hating people that are trying to kill you is a good thing. Actually.
View fuels hatred, not calling for the murder of people. That doesn't fuel hatred. He should be kicked off campus, but it's wrong for him to have a problem with anyone else's views.
Exactly.
Can I just ask you a question?
Do you ever wonder how much of your personal information is just floating out there?
I don't wonder about these things, actually. I don't wonder about things I have zero. God didn't put me on this earth to tear my hair out about things I have zero power over.
Your opinion's wrong.
Objectively, it is illogical. We can actually measure whether the logic is present or not, and adds up or not, and it doesn't.
Okay, that's...
And not just wrong. Not just wrong. Your opinion is based on lies. You just lied. You said that I incited racial hatred. I asked you what I said. Well, I asked you what I said that was racial hatred. You said I said.
It's also so tiring because like this is just accepting the frame that Islam is a race. It's not a race. It's not racist to think that Muslims, are plotting the conquering of the world or whatever. It's not racist. All right. It's I'm so tired of this. Being a Muslim, Muslims are it's not an ideology. It's not a race. All right. Like you are choosing to buy into an ideology by the fact that you have it. If your ideology is calling for a holy war, well then I think that that's a problem actually. I know, really hot take. I actually don't like that at all. But that's just me, I guess. Maybe I'm an extremist.
Deport every Muslim. I corrected you.
Now that you did the job, I guess you ain't that damn bad after all.
No,
You said take extremist creatures.
Yes, is there a problem with that?
You're gonna just go into mosques and take people because of your definition of extremism, how you define people?
They're calling for murder! Oh my god.
No.
So the real question here is it possible to identify when extremism goes too far in a way that we can address it? She's claiming that's not possible, as she calls Tommy Robinson extremist.
Well, that's not okay.
I'd shake your hand, but
now let me ask you, with everything you just heard on those videos, what would you do to stop those people?
And her only counter to this is, there's nothing I can do to stop it.
What would I do to stop those?
Yes.
Those people.
Yes.
All over the world.
Book barn.
No, the ones in America.
Book barn. I'm going to the book barn.
Before coming to a job interview.
So I won't stop me. Why would I?
We will stop them. Yeah? You may not want to stop them. You may not want to stop them, but many Americans will. Many Americans want to stop them.
It's so ironic that she's trying to use that as a gotcha. The fact that's Tommy's point.
I'm asking. That's the whole point here. Yeah.
Exactly, you're afraid, but it's not true. It's a false.
Yep.
It's a false fear.
The problem when you say it's not true is that he just showed you video clips that you won't even address.
You're right. I made up every single thing they were saying on that video.
At this point, people in the audience start to challenge.
But this is the whole thing, man. It's like, you know, man, I really want a leftist to kill Trump. But if a leftist tries to kill Trump, you're going to say it was a right-wing guy that tried to kill Trump. It was staged. Like, this entire argument, it falls on its head. Like, they do this every time.
I'm sure and call her out.
Everybody else, they're not.
What's your name? Sorry. What's your name? Sorry. Excuse me. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
They're attacking anyone else in here.
What's your name? No. What's your name?
I'm not going to give you.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what I'm struggling here with, okay, if I just stood up here and gave my opinion on everything, I'd understand what you're saying and you'd have an argument. Yeah? I've just stood here, I've quoted the verses and read what they say.
But those are your interpretations.
No, they're not. Did you not watch anything if I just done?
According to her, everything is up for interpretation. The very concept of extremism is up for interpretation.
Yeah, Trump says literally anything. He's baby Hitler. We have to kill him. This is what the left is think, obviously. And you know, it's like Muslim guy says, we are here to rape your children and subjugate your women and conquer your land. They're like, that's just open to interpretation. Okay.
Wait, have you just walked in here or something? Yes, I have. I've wrote the Quran. Yes.
So you take the entire Quran and take it to your...
No, what I just did is I gave you Islamic scholars' interpretation. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're missing it.
That's how it goes. It's your interpretation.
What's your interpretation?
Yeah, what's your interpretation?
Great question.
Have you read the Quran? You haven't, have you? You haven't, have you?
Can I answer?
You haven't read the Quran?
Can I answer your question?
Go on, answer the question.
My interpretation is that it's a religion, just like Christianity.
But
like,
that's right. You're not allowed to criticize any religion ever. That's right. It's protected. But meanwhile, the left shits on Christianity all day, every day. By fun fact. All right. But also, if you get three dinguses together and they decide, oh yeah, guys, we're gonna make a religion where we sacrifice babies. All right. Well, all right, let's do it. You can't criticize it anymore because it's a religion.
What do you know about Islam? What do you know about Islam? What do you know?
I know that it is a religion.
Have you studied Islam?
I know that it is a religion.
And this is the thing I struggle with. I could make up a religion tomorrow that's absolutely crazy. Just because it's a religion, you can't point to it and say, hey, that's crazy, according to her.
Okay.
And you know
that I could be like, hey guys, we get together a couple of dudes, we make up a religion where the prophet of the religion was, he went to the desert and then 10 very sexy, naked black men raped him all night throughout the entire desert. They rode him like a horse all night. And then he started a religion after that, and everyone followed him. And then people be like, well, that sounds pretty gay. That's what I would say if I heard of a religion where something like that happened.
That how? Because have you read the book?
Religion because I was taught this religion just like I was taught.
Oh, you.
That's a very nuanced reference, but that's a story that happened in Islam. that happened to Muhammad, by the way.
It was taught it was a religion.
I was taught Christianity doesn't mean they're the same.
Do you understand the separation of church and state?
Christianity or religion?
We're wasting too much time on this one. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming at least and listening. Thank you for coming. I know you didn't take much in, but thank you for coming.
That was nice. Yeah, so anyway, that's the psychopath far-right guy that's like, hey, thank you for listening. As we try to warn you that these people are trying to kill you. And the tolerant leftist is like, actually, you're the fascist. We need to let them rape a generation of women because that we're tolerant. Make no peace with evil! Oh my god! Bro, it's insane.
This TikToker crowned himself king of Switzerland, built a fake military, started seizing, claiming, and collecting land, and somehow local governments still can't fully stop him. So this is definitely one of the more bizarre stories I've covered here in a while. Because apparently Switzerland kind of has a king now, at least a self-proclaimed king, and he's doing everything in his power to gain as much power through, you know, a whole bunch of weird legal loopholes. But no, this isn't some like random ceremonial mascot or random billionaire. No, this is a actual guy who crowned himself king, built an empire, created his own military faction, minted his own currency, and legally claimed over 100,000 square meters of Swiss land. So that is actually a whole lot of land. And the wildest part of all this is somehow this is technically real. So meet Jonas Lauener, a 31-year-old Swiss IT specialist who decided normal hobbies, no, they were beyond him. That's way too boring. Instead, he became the Royal Highness and I guess the new king of Switzerland. Fascinating LARP. But the LARP has legs. It's kind of real. And that's where it gets very bizarre. Because the dude has a crown, a coronation ceremony, an imperial flag, a fake currency, an armored vehicle, military regiments, an Empire Legion, a palace, and an official website explaining to, I guess, everyone, in all seriousness, that, he's a real thing. Bro essentially gave a NATO briefing on why he's a real king. And now Swiss authorities are actually getting nervous about him because underneath all of the LARPing and cosplaying here, the guy essentially found a completely legal loophole of Swiss property law that let him slowly acquire abandoned and ownerless land across the country for essentially free, roads included. So now there are actual Swiss neighborhoods where residents wake up every morning and technically drive across this dude's kingdom. Land that's essentially owned by him. So we have a self-proclaimed monarch with an imperial army section on his website, and yeah, that's actually a real sentence. I can't believe I'm talking about this, honestly. It's safe to say the internet always has a way of surprising me, but apparently you can join this legion. So if you click the join section, and I'm not promoting this whatsoever, it takes you to a contact form with a pretty interesting "we need you" sign, okay? And yeah, before you think this is some like harmless internet joke, local governments are trying to change laws because of this guy. So the story starts off honestly in the most absurd way possible. So according to multiple reports, Jonas, he was born in Switzerland in 1994 to a Swiss father and a Moroccan mother. He worked in automation and industrial IT, served in the military for a few years, and by all accounts, he lived a pretty normal life. Then, on his 20th birthday, his father gave him a small piece of land. That's it. That's the origin story. Most people get like a watch or some sort of other family heirloom.
11 minutes ago.
Donald is absolutely dominating every single election in the country. All right, we have never seen anything like this before, ever. All right, because currently the right wing, especially the far right, as a lot of people like to call normal human people that are against the idea of importing things from the third world, are absolutely dominating the public culture. Literally, unironically, complete and utter, total cultural domination. The lukewarm rhino Republicans that were out there being like, well, actually, I really like every million Indians that come into the country. It makes me very excited. Well, fantastic news for everyone that's not those guys. They're losing. The Donald endorsed 9 for the Senate and won 9 for the Senate. He endorsed 101 for the House and won 101 for the House. He endorsed 8 for governor and won 8 for governor. Every single Republican that he endorsed won their primary. Every single one. This is unprecedented. Now, speaking of unprecedented, we have to talk about the Iran situation because something insane happened. If Iran surrenders, admits their navy is gone, resting at the bottom of the sea, and their air force is no longer with us, and if their entire military walks out of Tehran, weapons dropped, hands high, each yelling, I surrender, while wildly waving the representative white flag, and if their entire remaining leadership signs all necessary documents of surrender, and admits to their defeat to the great power and force of the magnificent USA, the failing New York Times, the China Street Journal, the corrupt and now irrelevant CNN, and all other members of the fake news media will headline that Iran had a masterful and brilliant victory over the United States of America. It wasn't even close. The Democrats and media have totally lost their way. They've gone absolutely crazy. President DJT. True. Now, it got even better. So he made this tweet, and a lot of people are talking about it for very similar reasons, because no one's falling for this. He lied to us. All right, so he said, based on possible bad weather conditions tomorrow, we will be having our cabinet meeting at the White House, and we'll be postponing the cabinet trip to Camp David. Thank you for your attention.
Whoa! Coming out of nowhere. I heard you, but I didn't see you.
There was no possible bad weather. This is a lie, and this is the Donald doing his classic.
Give me a magazine.
Donald manipulation technique.
Oh, a lucky book. All right.
Know and love. Now, a lot of people hate that he does this. I actually don't. I think that he does these tweets as some sort of public policy. He needs to give some sort of obvious excuse as to why he's not doing a thing, and knowingly not giving the real reason for it. The real reason for this probably is because Trump doesn't trust someone in that White House. Whether it's someone leaking information to the enemy, as we know that there is a mole that we have been investigating. Many people, like Tucker Carlson, has been served letters. People from the CIA have acknowledged that they are monitoring him and monitoring his calls now. So we know that that's happening. Either it's a leaker or it's someone who's working with the enemy to assassinate him. Who knows? I don't. And Donald Trump does not want to tell us. But this is fucking crazy, by the way, for anyone paying attention, because there was no bad weather. I'm just saying it's a little bit fishy and suspicious. Now, being that Donald Trump is completely and utterly dominating Iran, despite the fact that the Democrats are ruthlessly rooting for the rapist pedophiles and to continue raping goats and children as much as they can, Democrats love child rape. It's their favorite thing, actually. I don't know if you're aware. They love doing that. They love it so much. That's why they all get donations from Jeffrey Epstein and open the border to child sex traffickers and import rapists and pedophiles. They must love that shit. Otherwise, I can't possibly understand it. Now, the Donald, who's absolutely dominating in the negotiation battlefield because we have completely militarily and economically destroyed Iran, Iran is turning the internet back on. It was one of Trump's demands, and it seems like it's happening. It's being turned back on across Iran. 88% of Iran currently has internet. And for the record, yes, it is censored. Yes, they can't access everything, but this is so much better than the media blackout that they've been under for, I think, 3 months. 3 months of absolute internet blackout. Complete and utter insanity. Finally, that's getting turned on. No, don't give human rights to the people or something. You know, the Trump strategy campaign meeting ordered an entire cabinet. Something suspicious is going on. The USA is 1 word away, 90% complete. Trump is holding the hammer, and he pinned the Arab world against Iran, which happened. Everyone seems completely stunned by the deal. All right, the deal that Trump is asking for is not this little, okay, we'll go back to what Obama wanted. No. They've been begging for that for a very long time. Anyone that thinks this is a capitulation on the orange man's behalf, in my opinion, is completely and utterly psyops by the retards. Trump has a plan, and he is forging forward, and he actually has some sort of idea and visualization of what he wants the world to look like when he's done. He's reshaped the entire global order. All right, he basically put a wedge between us and NATO and the UN, based as fuck the UN and fuck NATO. And he also simultaneously liberated Venezuela. We're getting oil from there. Iran is crap. All right, China can't get oil from there. China now is buying oil from us. He's just basically reshaped the entire standard world order. He has some sort of idea, and he's not taking any shit from anybody. You know, Israel's telling him to keep bombing them, and he's like, no, he has some sort of alternative plan. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have traitors and retards like Joe Pence from counter-terrorism who quit, like said, we just have to stop the war right now and just leave and cut our losses. He's like, no, I'm just saying he has an idea, and I trust that. Saying, no, we must bomb the fuck out of them now. Falling for the propaganda of the other side saying, no, Iran is winning. You have to be a complete retard if you think Iran is winning. Now, the Donald dropped this one in the middle of the night, as he does.
You know, I'm knocking some of these Democrats. They're really like dumb people. And I said, you know, they should be called Democrats. It's only a one-letter change.
True.
No,
I'm thinking of it. He's so right.
They're Democrats.
Literally, fire, Mr. President. You have roasted them and destroyed them with memes. And on the ballots. All right, so just to understand, there is zero doubt that Donald Trump is in complete and total control of the Republican Party. He beat every single Republican in every single state with his endorsement. Remember how everyone was screaming and yelling, crying and bitching to Thomas Massie? He got his election stolen because the Jews paid for his opponent or something. Bro, every single Trump endorsement won. All of them. And the complete dumbfucks are just falling for the slopaganda. Just to understand, John Cornyn, this retard, he was like one of these open borders, retard rhinos, anti-based Republicans that was voting against the SAVE Act and all this shit. And he just endorsed the other and lost miserably, completely miserably. This is an incumbent. He's been in office for like a decade, and it's over. It's just over. Trump's like, you know what? Fuck you. He picked the other guy, and it's over.
Again, this was one of the best. I just said Tarrant was one of the best corn counties in the preliminary.
this county was even better. Okay, for Cornyn. Cornyn beat Paxton here solidly in the preliminary. But again, looking at the early vote right here, Paxton's absolutely trouncing him.
So this is like a staunch district for Cornyn, and then Trump was like, absolutely not, and then boom, completely, like 2/3 of the vote went to the other guy. Like, bro, people are losing control of MAGA, bro. Trump is MAGA. And you know what MAGA stands for? Make Africans go away. That's right, it's the mass deportation party. Trump is not going to be around to realize it. I know it. He's going way too weak on the deportations, if you ask me. But the next fucker is going to come in, and that dude's going to go crazy. And it's going to happen. As it happens right now, I am super happy with the reforming that we're seeing in the Republican Party. The Republican Party is not going to be a party of retards and limp-dicked pussies that are just going to sit there and get trampled by the third world anymore. And if Trump wants them out, they're going to leave. But the polls said differently. Well, Vice President JD dropped a bar on that one.
Polls show that a majority of DC residents don't support the Guard here. So what's your message to the majority of DC residents?
I'm highly skeptical that a majority of DC residents don't want their city to have better public safety and more reasonable safety standards within Washington, D.C. I don't know what poll you're talking about. Maybe the same polls that said Kamala Harris would win the popular vote by 10 points.
Yeah, so all the polls that are saying that, the polls are saying that Trump is losing control of the Republican Party. Yeah, those might be the same polls that said Kamala Harris was going to be president of the United States. Now, Ken Paxton, this guy just won his primary.
I'll support President Trump's America First agenda and finally secure our nation's elections by passing the Save America Act.
There it is, but where's John Cornyn? Why didn't John Cornyn do that? Now, there's so much more interesting information about this. Like, for example, did you know that John Cornyn, the retard that just lost his election, was funded by the leading Jewish American organization and AIPAC and the RJC and all these other Jewish groups? You mean to tell me that AIPAC can't just handpick elections and just win all of them? You mean to tell me that AIPAC actually has next to no power in comparison to the word of Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, most popular politician in the country by a landslide? You mean to tell me that the reason why Thomas Massey lost had nothing to fucking do with the Jews? It was just because he fucking sucked? He was a schizo? We'll talk about him in a bit because he's been crashing out on the timeline. But I am just saying, all right, if AIPAC truly controlled America, then this dude would have won his election. And he did it, because Trump voted for the other guy, which he should have, because this guy fucking sucks. All right, just to be clear. Ken Paxton wins Republican primary runoff 62-37. That is not even close, by the way. That is, like, not even close. And then Donald, to dance on the ashes of his opponents, magnanimously, I might add. Congratulations to Ken Paxton on such a tremendous win, and to John Cornyn for having run a strong and powerful race, but more importantly, having a truly great career. What a magnanimous guy. John will remain my friend for a long time to come, as we both watched Ken become a fantastic common-sense senator, one who is respected by all. His opponent, Alfred E. Newman, might be the worst Texas candidate I've ever seen. A strong, open-border advocate, weak on crime, believes there are 6 genders, is insulting to Jesus Christ, will never support the military, was a big mask wearer until recently, and is a vegan who dislikes meat. Oh, God. Not exactly a good way to be if you want to win an election in Texas. Jasmine Crockett, a very low IQ individual who is no relation to the legendary frontiersman Davy Crockett, who would have been a far better choice for the Democrats. I will do some nice, big, beautiful rallies for Ken in Texas. Texas will be fun. God bless America. Bro, dude, we have the GOAT in the White House, man. So many people are complaining that he doesn't do all of the things, but I am so happy with the way the culture in our country is evolving. Can I just say, we're living at a time where believing in 6 genders, insulting Jesus Christ, not supporting the military, being a mask wearer, and being a vegan, like, these are actual strikes against him in our culture today. That didn't exist in 2020. In 2020, those would have been positives. And right now, they are each one an ultimate negative that each one has a
Happy hour
standalone
ain't
lose him his
well.
election.
Look here, boys. We got ourselves a real love hero.
He is going to
And
be
now
running
he
in the
wants to
midterms
be
against
paid.
Ken Paxton, it seems. Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in America. He embodies the broken system we're running against. It's time to come together. The people versus Ken Paxton. Well, Ken Paxton won. All right, and he's hopefully going to wipe the floor with you, too. Now, James Tallarico, for those of you understanding,
You
he's
think
a very
you're pretty
interesting
smart
character.
now, don't
He
you?
is running for Senate
Here's
in
your pay,
Texas, claiming to be a
Einstein.
Christian, while simultaneously
Well, come
having
to
some
think of
really
it, good luck.
interesting, albeit
Better not
heretical
make me
belief.
regret
Before
this.
getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games as a time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games, complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call to Dragons on Free Cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Back to the chaos. Every individual sign-up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
All right, what do you love the most, Valerie Go? What do you love? If you can think of something you love, what is it that you love? I'm not, this is not AI. What you're about to witness is a real human being, unfortunately.
I love, I'm just saying this because it's on my mind, the trans children who showed up yesterday at the state capitol to add.
What do you love, James Tallarico? Trans children! The leftist party. Yeah, and listen, everyone gives me so much pushback when I say that the Democrats are the party of pedophiles. Like, are we being real here? Like, are we being serious? Like, dude, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. These people fucking suck. It's unreal, all right? James Tallarico's church, where they say a sermon that the trans community needs abortion care. They're pushing trans book on kids. Among the books in the church library is The Book is Gay, which lays out the ins and outs of gay sex for kids. And as someone who covers the news every day in the least homosexual way possible, literally fuck this heretic. I absolutely cannot stand this reform ideology where it's like, oh yeah, I believe in God. The Bible, of course, is the word of God. I just think he was wrong about like half of it. Fuck you and fuck whatever satanic demon you are actually worshiping. This shit sucks, man, and your time is nigh. It's over, bro. We are done with this. The culture has moved on. For those thinking Matthew lost because of Israel money and not because President Trump is an ironclad grip on the GOP, explain Bill Cassidy, explain Tom Tillis, explain Liz Cheney. I'm curious to see how John Cornyn will go. Well, spoilers, he lost. Spoilers, it didn't work out. So this is the scorecard for Donald Trump 2026. And it shocks
races and Senate races. This is his scorecard, okay?
Yeah.
He has endorsed 8 governors. Now, some of these races weren't real close, didn't have a lot of competition, but some of them did. I mean, we saw what happened in Louisiana, the primary of Bill Cassidy. We saw what happened a week ago tonight with Tom.
Basically all of them. All right, I'm not going to sit here and play a clip of pure and utter blazing, all right? I don't want to play this clip of a man just sucking the cock of another man. This is the least homosexual news coverage on the planet. I'm not going to do that. But essentially, that's what we were just, that's what's going on. Now, Al Green just lost his primary. Right, for those of you that don't remember Al Green, who was the guy trying to impeach Trump for dastardly deeds.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce...
Just because I look like a Neanderthal, that doesn't mean I don't have the right to impeach the elected president.
That I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed.
That's right, baby. You wanted to impeach Trump for dastardly deeds. It didn't work. And much to the surprise of me personally, I totally thought this would. This time they would get him. You know, they tried to kill him, they tried to jail him. You know, but this time I thought it was gonna. Well, it didn't happen. Al Green lost his primary by 37 points. Just heartbreaking. And the Donald had to dance on his grave a little bit. Congratulations to the Democrat Party. Al Green, one of the most mentally deficient congressmen in the history of our country, has lost in a landslide his seat in Congress. But I will miss that lunatic not screaming and violently waving his cane at me during my next State of the Union speech. Make America great again. My God, he just keeps winning. It's unbelievable. All right, Democrat Rep. Al Green lost his congressional seat in Texas after he tried so hard to impeach Donald Trump, and he lost it badly. Bro, Trump is just killing these people. All right, this dude is out there. He's the incumbent. He won his last elections. He's going up. He's doing his best. Right, he makes Trump the sole focus of his election, loses miserably. And many such cases. many such cases. Right? Trump has raped the minds of a generation in the most fantastic way possible. Sex therapists who vowed to put, quote, American Zionists into castration centers loses Texas Democratic primary. It's so bad, Mo. They're losing all their fuckers. Wow! All of a sudden, China's starting to pay for our oil, and we're investigating Hassan Piker, and all that shit falls apart. That's crazy. Now, Thomas Massey, who lost his primary, also because Trump endorsed the other guy. Now, a lot of people think Trump endorsed the other guy because he didn't want to fund Israel or something. That shit's stupid, and also not true. Trump endorsed the other guy because Thomas Massey started the entire Jeffrey Epstein slander campaign on Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump was part of the Epstein class, that he's a pedophile protector, that it's a pedophile administration. All right, he pushed all that shit. He made unbelievable amounts of slander against that man with zero evidence, which is bad on its own right. And if I was Trump, I would endorse the other guy just because this guy was calling, he was calling him a pedophile for like a year now. All right, but worse than that, all right, he voted to fucking defund ICE. He voted for open borders. He voted against the big beautiful bill, which is literally the keystone of Trump's entire economic policy. All right, he voted against open borders. He voted against ICE funding. He voted against all this shit. All right, literally get him out. Get him out. All these libertarians, bro. These guys suck, dude. They really do. All right, so to be clear. All right, so he goes. He has this whole meet the press big interview because he lost miserably. The entire leftist apparatus was trying their absolute best to astroturf him and get him to win. He was on the Young Turks, bro. The Young Turks endorsed him for a Republican seat. All right, well, he lost miserably.
Can we expect you to name more names in the coming weeks and months?
Yes. Todd Blanche is violating the law. There's still millions of files they haven't released.
Right.
From talking to the
He's going to release the names.
victims' lawyers, that their own 302 forms haven't been released.
Can you believe this? He loses his election miserably. They get him on an interview, and he's like, Epstein.
You know the files have been over-redacted. I have released at least 3 names of billionaires who are implicated in this.
And he slandered a whole bunch of other guys.
I don't think it's possible to get to convictions with Todd Blanche at the top.
That's right. It's somebody else that's the problem. Thomas Massey said he'll publicly read the names of the Epstein clients. Why didn't you yet? Are you a pedophile protector? Why didn't you yet? Now, this is Thomas Massey, by the way.
I have got to get past May 19th. If I lose on May 19th, I am not doing any more government ever.
All right. If he loses his primary, he is never, ever doing anything again in the government ever. Anyway, he's filing to run again in 2028.
I'm not.
So this is a lie.
Not running for president, not running for governor. It's a sign from God or the people or both that
Right, so if he loses on May 19th, it's a sign for the people. He ends up losing on May 19th, and he crashes out and cries about how Israel sponsored his opponent. It's truly incredible stuff. It really is. Like, it's unbelievable, the level of grip you have to deal with. Thomas Massey said, quote, if I lose on May 19th, I'm not doing this anymore. It's a sign from God. Yet he's filing to run for federal office again in 2028. Because he's a lying grifter. Maybe that's why. Thomas Massey made this tweet. I'll be exposing the swamp for 7 more months before you can get to unwrap your present from the globalist billionaires. Dog, you have been here for 14 years! This is like such horseshit. It's crazy. Thomas Massey has been in Congress for 14 years, and he didn't expose anything. The next 7 months now he's gonna, because he's a grifter, because he's a huge grifter, schizophrenic, and that's why he lost miserably. Right, dude, it's tiring watching these people. They're pathetic. In fact, in one of the most brutal debates I've ever seen in my entire life, Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, which, by the way, endorsed a Republican. I wonder why. It's almost like it's because he's backstabbing Trump every fucking time he came. Right, she was debating this dude, and he fucking killed her.
It's interesting that you talk about Zionist billionaires because actually Jeff Yass funded Thomas Massey's campaign as well. I find it interesting that you don't talk about NIAC, the National Iranian American Council. I find it interesting you don't talk about the Council on American Islamic Relations. I find it interesting you don't talk about the Jordanian Muslims, the Marouk family, who also funded him. You don't talk about the Iranian Joe Keeney, who I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I find it interesting that you're talking about how AIPAC has this ability to simply fund elections with any money they want.
Which, by the way, they just lost their election in Texas, AIPAC, by the way.
Yet Maureen Galindo, who said that that American Zionists need to be put in internment camps, actually won her election yesterday. Chris Rabb, who said that the Bondi Beach massacre, which killed 10 Jews by an Islamist, including a 9-year-old girl, Matilda, he said it was a false flag. He won his election yesterday. So if AIPAC is, buying any election they want, how come they didn't buy those elections? Why did they allow those candidates to win? So again, if you want to focus on money, then sure, Thomas Massie also raised $15 million from Islamist groups, from far-left Democrats. He went on your show repeatedly. But look, Kamala Harris raised $1 billion.
He did not go on our show repeatedly.
The only one, actually, I love how she has zero refutation to anything that he says. Actually, he only went on my show once. It wasn't repeatedly.
Excuse me. He went on your show the day before the election, right?
You can't just lie.
You can't just lie. It wasn't repeatedly, though.
He came on for a second.
Go on your show the day
He was
before
only there for a second, guys.
the election.
Issues and had to drop off.
I am making the point that even if you have money in politics, which I want to get rid of, that still doesn't translate into forcing Kentuckians to not support a candidate. Kamala Harris had $1 billion and she still lost. What, you're telling me that 60,000 Kentuckians who wanted strong borders, who wanted DHS funded, who didn't believe that Donald Trump was a pedophile, they were forced into voting against Thomas Massie? No, they didn't like the guy. That's what elections come down to. Thomas Massie.
That's right.
He raised roughly $14 million. Ed raised roughly $19 million. But the idea that you can fool the people of Kentucky into voting for someone who they don't actually support is ludicrous. So again, if Kamala Harris raised $1 billion, then using your logic, if money is what determines outcomes of elections, then how come she lost? So yes, it's true. When you have
He was a terrible candidate.
Terrible.
There it is.
Oh, so I would.
So is Thomas Massie, the Republican who was for open borders and backstabbing Trump. Exactly.
Argue that Thomas Massie, who was campaigning with individuals like Ryan Matta, who was wearing an American right sweater.
Bro, he was campaigning with the Young Turks. There is no bigger slight against someone on the Republican side that would go on the Young Turks for an endorsement. All right? You really want to get endorsed by Cenk Uygur? Open borders, communist, Islamist, pro-terrorism? You want that endorsement and run for Republican primaries? Bro, it's over. It's so over. But yes, he was a nightmare candidate, and that is why he lost. All right? Everyone, these people are complete retards. They don't live in reality. It's just Trump's world, and we're living in it.
It doesn't matter how stupid a scam might sound to you. I got your nose. Like, even that might have just sent someone into a panic. Doesn't matter how dumb it is, people fall for these kind of scams every single day. The most absurd, most unbelievable things that you ask yourself, who could possibly be that moronic to actually fall victim to it? Well, people do every single day. The reason why these scams exist is because they are successful. And today we're going to talk about one that just happened in my own backyard, Florida. More specifically, Bradenton, which is pretty close to Tampa. I could probably piss into the wind and have a golden shower hit this scammer here while he's mowing his lawn. Now, it's not just one scam either. This actually has quite a few layers. It's a deep onion of scams, and it's all the most unbelievable shit where you ask yourself, who could fall for it? And you're about to find out who. So the perpetrator here, the scammer, is a an unholy fusion dance between Larry the Cable Guy and Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Well, what started with a friend request turned into months of talking, and a woman in Frisco, Texas thought she'd hit the jackpot with her new friend, Elon Musk. He promised her a huge return for investing with him.
And as Fox 13's Kimberly Cuisin reports, the person behind the keyboard was not Elon Musk, but a man from Bradenton, who police say was ripping her off.
This is actually the oldest trick in the book. I'm pretty sure this scam predates the birth of Jesus Christ. And it is a scam that a lot of elderly people fall victim to constantly, which is always sad, of course, and it's a scam that's existed for as long as communication has, with people lying to get money out of it, saying like, hey, give me money and I'll give you money in return. They pretend to be something that they're not with some kind of phony baloney nonsense. But with the internet,
it's a lot of blood pressure for a guy that's dead.
Crank that shit up. They're going plus ultra on that scam, and it's been significantly more effective, which is very surprising to me, just how drastically the sentiment around online activity has changed in the older generation. Because when I was growing up, my parents and grandparents put the fear of God in me about, like, don't post anything online that would be like an identifier, like don't post anything private online, don't trust anything or anyone that you meet online. Whereas nowadays, that notion is completely extinct. The older generation looks at you like you're weird if you don't have your fucking phone number posted on your Twitter account or something. Like, they're going hog wild, believing everything and everyone, ripping their shirt off, twirling it over their head like, Yeah, Queef Wellington's revealing the truth. There is plutonium in the toilet paper. We have to go back to using leaves, raw leaves and poison ivy to clean ourselves. It's like, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit. It just seems totally different, but maybe now it's just the access to information, you see more of it. Maybe this has always been happening, but man, it really does just
Queef Wellington?
seem like every 7-year-old
Queef
is just
Wellington.
waiting
I
for
would
a
have went
random
with Queef
Facebook
Stroganoff,
request so they
but
can send that stranger all of their
whatever.
money for no fucking reason.
For a 74-year-old woman,
Humor's
a
dead.
friend request sent and accepted on Facebook brought on a new and seemingly powerful friendship.
She would communicate on a daily basis with him.
She believed she was talking with Elon Musk, and he told her he had a plan for her future.
A common misconception is that only old people fall for this kind of scam. Like, oh, you gotta be geriatric and senile to think that Elon Musk would contact you and say that he has a plan and that you should give him money. That's just complete fucking barnacles right there. Only, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe even less, and it still goes on today, there was that massive YouTube scam stream that got started up with a looped Elon Musk video that had a link to a Bitcoin wallet that was asking everyone watching the stream to send Bitcoin to that wallet and he would double it. And so many people fell victim to that. And you know 74-year-olds aren't using Bitcoin 2-3 years ago. So the main people that were victims of that were younger people. And that scam, the Elon Musk doubling crypto scam, still goes on to this day to wild degrees of success. You see the streams all over YouTube right now, too. I guarantee you can probably find 5 of those bitches live at this moment, and there are people falling for them every single day.
The truth about NATO without the US. Very curious to see what we got with this, see what NATO will be like without the US. It probably won't be great. Intrigued to see what we got before we do get into this. Appreciate if you guys could subscribe button.
It'd pretty much be pointless.
Trump is calling NATO a paper tiger. And
right.
saying the US exit is beyond reconsideration. Europe refused to support the Iran war. Its airspace to US planes. It blocked US bombers from landing at Sigonella. France banned US resupply flights to Israel. The alliance.
Wait, but I thought we're allies. My understanding, right? Obviously, I don't know too much when it comes to the military, but my understanding is when you're allies with someone, shouldn't you be able to be, you know, to use their spaces and stuff and their land?
Never left this fracture.
Right.
So if the U.S. walks, what's left? The money. Let's start with the genuinely
a lot of it.
part, because Europe has actually been spending seriously. And finally,
oh,
at
really?
the 2025 NATO summit in The Hague, member states agreed to hit 5% of GDP on defense by 2035.
Okay.
That's split into 3.5% for actual military hardware and troops, and 1.5% for infrastructure, cyber, and industrial capacity.
Gotcha.
In 2025, European NATO members had a record $600 billion in defense spending, up nearly 13% in real terms from the year before. Germany alone.
Yo, 600 billion is a lot. And that's the whole of NATO, not including the US, because I've actually seen US numbers. They're nearly $1 trillion. So, like, US is a different beast.
Up to $107 billion.
Oh, wow.
A country that was constitutionally and culturally pacifist for 8 decades after World War II. That kind
That's a lot of
increase
zeros.
in 1 year is genuinely historic.
Okay.
Poland is already spending close to 5% of GDP on defense, the highest of any NATO member, and has quietly built one of the largest armies in Europe in just a few years.
Oh, really?
Notably, Spain opted out of the 5% target entirely, which tells you the commitment isn't uniform. But if the
Wait, I thought they were going to be on the same page. What's Spain doing?
3.5% core target gets hit broadly across the alliance. European defense spending could reach $850 billion by 2030.
Wow, that's a
roughly
lot.
where the U.S. baseline sits today. From Washington's
Yeah, that's crazy. US is one country, NATO. But then again, the US is the same size as NATO, so kind of like, you talk about money for size, maybe?
perspective, this is actually
Oh, come on.
Republicans are finally paying their share after decades of leaning on American security guarantees.
Relying on them.
Whether the timing is smart or reckless is a separate debate.
The thing what I don't like about the first point in this whole video, even being from the UK, right? You know how, like, European countries are rejecting America, you know, with the war, like they don't want their base. I don't know, do they not want them at the base or do not want them operating there? I don't know. But then they'll rely on America to help them out of bad situations. That don't make sense in my head. Like, don't get me wrong, I want America and NATO. I live in the UK. I love America. We need America. Right? But like, shouldn't we be giving America what they need for this, as allies?
But the financial shift is real. The manpower. European...
Because I've always been told, like, with NATO, if you attack one, you attack us all. But then, where's that memo gone if they're not back in America?
NATO members field about 2.1 million active troops without the U.S. The numbers on paper are substantial.
Okay.
France, Germany, the UK, Poland, and Italy each have well over 100,000 active personnel.
Right.
Poland alone has quietly become one of the most heavily armed countries on the continent.
Really?
The problem is that headcount and actual combat effectiveness aren't the same thing.
Right.
Europe runs a huge variety of non-interoperable weapon systems across its member states. Different tanks, different artillery, different infantry vehicles.
Okay.
None sharing parts or maintenance protocols across borders.
Why?
The European Defense Agency's own data shows EU states operate far more incompatible systems than the US military.
Why?
That makes joint operations expensive and logistic.
Yeah. Well, I would think they would be sharing the same kind of technology.
Messy in ways that raw troop numbers don't capture. Europe is also genuinely short on things that make modern warfare actually work.
Okay.
Strategic airlift, the heavy transport planes needed to move large forces quickly over long distances, air-to-air refueling tankers, which determine how far your jets can actually reach, and deep strike capability, the ability to hit targets far behind enemy lines.
We're lacking on
which
it.
The U.S. Air Force has provided to every major NATO operation for 30 years.
Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing the theme here, right? I'm seeing the theme of why America does potentially want to leave. So America's been providing these for 30 years, but then we can't provide a helping hand with what they get going on right now. That don't make sense in my head. And I'm from a NATO country.
Analysts at Bruegel and the Kiel Institute calculated that plugging those gaps to credibly deter Russia by 2027
Right.
would need an immediate $270 billion annually and 300,000 additional combat-ready troops. Not by 2035, right now. That's the honest short-term picture, even if the long-term trend is heading the right way.
Okay.
Command and control. Probably the least talked about gap and the most dangerous one. NATO's entire command structure runs on American systems. Intelligence
does it?
networks, satellite communications, surveillance,
Well, that makes sense as well because America's technology is the best.
marketing data. Almost all of it US owned.
Right.
Without that backbone, European multinational forces simply can't fight as a unified army. Defense analysts describe
Would we go back to like walkie-talkies?
the existing workarounds as clutched together solutions. A polite way of saying nobody expects them to hold under real wartime pressure. The US is already stepping back here. In early 2026,
Fucking
we added
bitch.
2 major NATO headquarters, Joint Force Command Naples and Joint Force Command Norfolk, to European officers. There are serious discussions about appointing Britain's admiral.
Oh, what? So America stepped down in these places and now the European part have to take over that?
Sir Tony Ratican as Supreme Allied Commander Europe, replacing U.S. Army General Christopher Cavoli. Supporters say it's healthy and long overdue. The counter-argument is straightforward. The command is only as good as the intelligence and systems feeding into it.
Right.
And most of those are still American. Both points are fair. The nuclear question. For 77 years, Europe's security rested on one simple guarantee.
America's got a lot of nukes.
Attack a NATO member and you're risking nuclear war with America.
That's what I'm
kept the
saying.
peace on the continent longer than any period in modern history. The US
Motherfucker.
guarantee goes.
Oh my God!
Yo. I do not like the sound of that, by the way. That is actually
Come on,
terrifying.
get up.
Please don't leave. Put me in charge of NATO and that will make it good.
Standing still. On March
Ah,
2nd,
it's almost
2026,
11 o'clock.
Macron announced what he's calling dissuasion avancée.
I'm gonna log out.
Standing in front of a nuclear submarine
Get some
at
lunch.
France's Ile-Long naval base.
Okay.
The
I'll be back on
idea
later.
is that France extends its nuclear umbrella to cover Germany, Belgium, and Poland.
Right.
Those countries can.
What about the UK? I know the UK has some nukes, but yo, can't we have an umbrella too? I want an umbrella.
Contribute to conventional support roles like early warning and air defense.